Whoa, good morning, everyone. Thank you to Green Day for gifting 5 subs. Thank you to Sage of Stars for gifting 5 subs and then 5 more subs. Happy Pride Month to you. It's time for Golden VCR. Give me steam! It's Golden VCR. The gang's all here. Good to see you. I mean, 18 of you are here, but I'm sure the entire gang will show up. They'll trickle in. I just rolled out of bed, and I need a haircut badly. Give me pride. Give me pride. So, how about some Saturday morning cartoons? We've slowly whittled down our initial collection of Unicorn Video repackaged old cartoons. This one is Herman and Friends, Old Pals. And it has 3 shorts on it. Naughty But Mice, Doggone Tired, and Scrappily Married. Oh yeah, I defragged the shelf a couple days ago. So I now have everything that's on the website is now on the shelf. I do have a box of like 30 to 40 tapes that I picked up at rural Appalachian thrift stores, but I have not scanned those yet. And then the Trill Girl Golden Ticket box is welcome to arrive whenever. No rush on that. And then we're going to be still set for a while. So thank you all for your patience. Oh look, it's hype. I really need to make more alerts. Instead, I've been writing alert-based code. If you have just like one or two or a few really really good tapes that you really want to send in, you can hit me up and I'll authorize your submission. Yeah. I don't know. We're listen. The best way to handle this problem, the problem of too many tapes, is to get through some tapes. So let's watch Herman and Friends, Old Pals. We can keep chatting while we do that if you want. It's fine. I also need to open the thing. And let's... Which OBS? Oh god, it's too early. Okay, Herman and Friends, Old Pals. Another classic from Unicorn Video. Is it going to be a really bad dub onto this tape? Yeah, I've seen worse. Oh, hooray. 1,000 bits from Jess requesting the LGBT robot for Pride. Thank you. Yeah, I wish we had more queer representation in the library of tapes that we've watched so far.
First Hiram, then Zeke, and now Louie. Our third loss this week. And still no cheese. I'm starving. We got to get rid of that cat. Meow! That's a trick, son. That's a trick. It can come out now. It's only me, Cousin Hyman. It's our city cousin, Hyman.
Glad to see you, Herman.
Hiya, Hyman. Hyman! Hiya, fellas. Hey, guys.
Where's Hiram? Zeke?
My
Louie?
favorite thing about this
Stand
tape
back,
transfer
move on, Herman.
is how it's
He's a killer.
slowly jiggling back and forth.
Oh, yeah? Well, just leave me your cousin Herman.
Good morning, we are indeed. This is Herman and Friends. The second most famous cat and mouse cartoon of this era.
He did it. Oh, boy, gee.
Ding dong bell, pussy's in a well. Oh, put her in, little Herman grin. Oh, pulled her out. Ding dong bell, ding dong bell. Ding dong bell, pussy's in a well.
And who put her in?
Little Herman, huh?
Okay, yeah, I don't think that ghost worked.
Ding dong bell, pussy's in a well. Oh, put her in, little Herman grin. Oh, pulled her out. Ding dong bell, ding dong. Huh?
Such strong support. Hype train complete, level 5, 40%. There's so many hype train things happening that I don't have Peter Gabriel's for. I'm so sorry about that. I guess I could just make it so that every level of the hype train, there's an additional Peter Gabriel train, slightly delayed and behind the other one.
Achoo!
Gesundheit.
Oh, cousin Herman!
Yeah, he was a nice guy. Oh.
100 proof catnip. Well, in this one, the mouse sings and talks with a very annoying voice. And all the antics revolve solely around the mouse trying to get the cat into a well for some reason. Oh man, that reminds me. I had a dream last night that I was in Philadelphia, and I was trying to like get to my hotel at night, and it was there were all these train tracks that crossed all the roads,
All's well that
and it was
ends in
super
the
dark, and there were like no signals and no pedestrian crosswalks. There were just constantly trains coming and going and like mowing people down. It was really, really dangerous. You would just hear a train horn, and then you would have like 5 seconds to get out of the way before a train killed you. And I was like, man, Philly really sucks. Why does Noah like it? That thought occurred to me. Okay, this is Doggone Tired, right? And it's very blue. I don't think it's supposed to be that blue.
No, Speedy, not now. It's too late to hunt rabbits. Oh, come on, let's get some sleep. Whew. Don't worry, Speedy. We'll get up at 5 in the morning and really blast that bunny. I can taste that fried rabbit now. Remember, boy, you'll never catch that rabbit unless you get a good night's sleep. Now get plenty of rest, lots of sleep, boy. Remember, you won't catch that rabbit unless you get a lot of sleep.
I love how the dog has his own bedroom. Leica would not want her own bedroom. Leica gets stressed out if she can't sleep between the both of us. Oh, whoops. Oh, it's still got dog, even though I wrote down. how cartoon animals have such easy and plentiful access to dynamite. I love telephone operator humor. Oh, Blasty Bunny. Got another Seymour Kneitel. Scrappily Married. Hopefully this one holds up. Take my wife, please.
Chicken pie.
Henry, get back in there and sit on those eggs!
Yes, my love. There's just so much a man can take.
Listen, sometimes a housewife needs help around the house. Sometimes she deserves to be able to play solitaire.
Was it you that scared Chicken Pie?
Who else? I ain't seen a dame yet I couldn't scare.
Say, you wouldn't mind being my guest for a while, would you, huh?
I might, if the cheese is right.
Oh, God. we?
Oh, shut up, you old buzzard. I'll clip your wings and chop you down to a croquette.
If I could only get my hands on
Have we
that
seen this
chicken
exact short? These characters seem familiar, but I don't remember Egg Pool. Oh. Hey, 1,000 bits from Facebook. These chickens need to defend themselves against the mouse. Lee Martinez, any suggestions? Fly to the Aruba's vibes? All right.
Please, Mr. Cat, leave me alone. Don't eat me. My mother lost me.
Okay, well, it's been like, I do remember now, yeah. It's been probably, what, like 4 months?
Scared.
Which I think, instead of cutting off the tape and letting you watch something you haven't seen before, I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee. That sounds like the perfect substitute teacher move in this situation. In the meantime, think about what you want to see next. We still have the NASA tape, which is 60 minutes on the Challenger disaster. We don't have a lot of like good Pride tapes. I was gonna see our previous NASA tape actually mentions the first female astronaut, who was Sally Ride, who I didn't remember this, but she was a lesbian. The first NASA astronaut known to be LGBT. But the Challenger disaster will not be very
Watch this. Oh, boy.
jubilant, I don't
This
think.
is gonna be fun.
Please, Mr. Cat, leave me.
All right, well, y'all think about it. I'll be back in a minute.
My mother lost me. Don't eat me.
Sweetie, my trying to frighten Herman. Ain't that the funniest thing you ever saw? The old dumb clucket.
Henry, I ain't had such fun since...
Now chicken pie.
Oh, dear. This must be a bad dream. Hyman!
Oh, hell, that was not very long. All right, well, that was Herman and Friends, Old Pals. A 21 minutes of cartoon fun. So now, Look how cheap this is. Unicorn video. Now it's time for something else. You voted. What do you vote for? What are we doing? I don't know if you did an official democracy. It doesn't sound like it. Tell you what, why don't we, I'd really like to finish the NASA box set. I don't know if I'm ready to rewatch Psycho Bike Deb. That's a lot. We can play the 69 alert, but no. Let's do those two things that were requested. That would be the farewell of the LGBT space robot and Flight of the Urubu.
Well, gang, I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something too. Come on back and see me again for some more fun learning. And remember, treat other people the way you want to be treated, okay? Time to go. So long for now. 5, 4, 3.
I love how his voice just trails off. The Fun Learning Song by Danny Dalton. We do have The Legend of Valentino, which is a biopic about Rudy Valentino, who is like an early sex symbol in 1920s Hollywood, who is believed to have actually been gay, but could not be out of it about it because he was a heartthrob, and it was the 20s. I'm also kind of interested in getting Volume 1 of FolkArt One Stroke, at least a little bit of it, maybe not the whole thing. That would be a good one that I could leave and make coffee and get breakfast. Serve myself some oatmeal during.
Hello, my name is Maria Martinez, and I would like to welcome you to Brazilian Coordination for Drum Set.
Thank you. Thank you to Seemingly Jess for the robot who is gay and in space, and thank you to Jace for the chill vibes of Maria Martinez with Flight of the Urubu. I'm going to get that Donna Dewberry FolkArt one-stroke painting tape because I want to see maybe 20 to 30 minutes of it. Maybe the whole thing if we're feeling it, but yeah, I've decided. I'll be right back. It's like a little book. I don't know why, but it's cute. FolkArt, one-stroke video library, Volume 1, Basic Flowers. The most basic of flowers only. Here we go. I can't wait to meet Donna again for the first time. What was the last one? Like furniture?
The One-Stroke
Fruits.
Video
It was
Library
fruits.
series featuring Donna Dewberry is presented by
Plaid Enterprises Incorporated, bringing quality paints, mediums, stencils, and other tools to painters worldwide.
Oh, Donna.
Hi, I'm Donna Dewberry. Welcome to my studio. I bet you're just like me and you've always dreamed of learning how to paint. Well, I sat at my dining room table when I got all my children to bed, and I had 7 of them, and I wanted something to be some kind of stress release. And you know what? Decorative painting is what I wanted to do so bad. I wanted to decorate my house and paint pretty things that I couldn't afford, and I didn't have the time to go take lessons. And so what I ended up doing, not even knowing it, is creating a technique called one-stroke painting. And I'm so excited to show you the simple technique and the steps so that you can learn how to do this also, just like me. Now, what I want to show you are the brushes that I use. I use flat brushes that I've designed with a long bristle, thin ferrule, and this part right here is the ferrule. So if you've never painted before, I don't want you to not know anything about the technique and or the terminology. And this right here is the chisel edge of your brush, the tip of the bristles, okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to take, with each of our brushes, they have sizing in them. So you dip them into water and lay them on a paper towel and let the excess water go out of your brush before we use it, okay? Now what we want to do is I want to show you the next brush. This is a script liner, all right? This is the only brush with this liner that I use water with. So what I do with this brush is I go into water 2 or 3 times, and I'll show you in the video how we go into water 2 or 3 times, and I use the water mixed in with my paints to accomplish my strokes with this brush, always staying on the very tip of that brush. Now remember, I have many brushes in many of these flat brushes, and that's what I use for all my strokes are flat brushes. And what I have is from very large brushes all the way to small flat brushes, small ones. And what I want you to realize is that whatever size project that you're painting, if you use the largest brush that's comfortable for you to do the strokes on that size piece. So it might be my very largest brush or down to my number 2 flat brush, okay? Now, I've got one brush that's so much fun that everybody loves using, and that's my Scruffy. Now, this brush is flat when it comes in your package, really flat. Okay, so the key to this brush is you put it in your hand when you pull it out of the package. We use no water in this brush until we clean out the paint that we're using. You've got to start with a dry brush. Now we take our fingertips and we pull the center so we get a nice fluffy oval. Now this is natural hairs, where the other flat brushes were synthetic. All right, see these natural hairs on here? And so you pounce really nice on this brush when you're working with it.
That's right, you pounce.
It's all coming back to me. Very soft. Now, let me show you real quick how we load our brushes and how we're going to put our paint out on our palette, because that makes a big difference when you're stroking, all right? Now, we're going to take and we're going to squeeze this thick, creamy, this is FolkArt paint. I love it because it's like tube acrylic when it comes out. It's really nice and thick. I'm using this paint because it's water-based. You have no smell.
It's really helpful
I love it because it cleans up with water, and I don't like anything that's going to make a mess. You have to have all kinds of cleaners for, so you're going to like this. And be generous with your paint. I like to use a lot. I like to have my puddle really nice and big, not too small. All right, and so then we're going to pick up on our corner, one corner, then see that? And then we're going to pick up another corner, trying to form like a triangle. Now we're going to come right here to our palette, and I'm using a foam plate because I like the foam because it doesn't absorb the moisture in the paint. All right, we're going to dip. Remember, I laid my brush in the water, laid it on the paper towel, then I start picking up. Now the key to loading the brush is pushing really hard. Now we're not going to do this, all right? Now some of you seasoned painters like to do this little blending thing, and if you're a beginner, then you've got it made because you like the rules I give you. But let me tell you, I break all the rules. I do things that nobody's ever seen done before, which is a good thing, right? As long as it makes painting quick and easy. Now that's double loading your brush, all right? Now there's two other things I want to show you before we start painting. One is this floaty medium. Now look how fun that is. That is the fluff. Can you see that? That is the fluff that's in your paint with no pigment in it. And it makes painting so easy. Because if you're going to be on a dry surface like paper or a wall, it'll drag and you won't like your painting maybe.
There is painting in the Steam music video.
Because when you're painting, it should look like you're painting with it should feel like you're painting with butter, really soft and smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to dip into the floaty medium. See, we dip straight in, and then we work that into our brush. And now we're ready to paint. Almost. Now what we have to do, now this is loaded. Now to paint, we have to pick up more paint. I bet you don't believe that. You got a lot of paint in there already, but you do. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to ever so lightly dip the corners. We're going to dip a teeny bit of white. Say I want some yellow also, dip the yellow. Then I want some green. I dip the green. Now I'm ready to paint. You don't go back here and work it in. If you do, you're taking off what you just picked up. But look at this. I want to show you real quick. We're going to go 1, 2, 3. This 1, 2, 3 is the beginning stroke. And then we stroke. And instantly you've got blending, shading, and highlighting. Doesn't that look fun?
Wildflowers, vines, and mossing with the scruffy brush.
All right, let's start painting. The first thing I want to do is wildflowers and grass and all kinds of pretty flowers that you find out in the field. And to start painting, I want to pick up our larger brush, which is going to be a 3/4 inch flat, and we want to load it with a couple colors.
What is our love-hate split?
So it's called double loading. We're going to pick up the wicker white on one corner and the green on the other corner. This is going to be green forest. And we're going to work back and forth on our palette, which you notice is a foam plate here. Everybody has those usually. Okay, and then we're going to go back and forth. We're going to continue picking up on both sides, working this into the brush. Now the key to this is that you get this worked inside the bristles, which means you want it at least 2/3 full up the brush bristles. See this right up here. Now, we're going to pick up, I want to pick up some yellow with this. I'm going to dip a little bit of yellow, a little bit of white, a little bit of green.
I love how she's exiting the limousine and not the hedgehog.
Now, this is loading your brush. When your brush is all loaded, we're going to dip into floating medium. And this floating medium will help the brush move smoother. And I want you to use this with no water. If you use water, it's going to muddy up your strokes and you won't get the pretty defined shading. And also, it'll keep your brush from dragging on your painting as you're painting. So let's move over here and show you the first stroke that we're going to do. It's going to be on the chisel edge of the brush. Now see this edge that's touching the plate here? This is a chisel edge. So when we're painting on a chisel edge, we want to lead with a lighter color, which is white. And see how I'm slightly lifting the white and dragging the green bristles? Now this is what we want to do on our piece. Now what we're going to do is I want you to take your whole arm with you. You've got the brush standing up, the handle straight up and down. You're lifting the white slightly, and we're going to take my little finger, see this, and slide my whole arm going, not my wrist. Okay, so we're going to slide up, out, up and out. See my whole arm going with me, and sometimes it'll be nice and thick, and if you're not happy with that, you're going to take and lighten it up. The more you do, the more you practice, you know what, the thinner these are going to get, and they're going to be nice and light and thin. So don't be tough on yourself. If you get a thick one in there that's really ugly and you don't like it, just remember you can paint little wildflowers right on top of that, because these are going to be the stems for your wildflowers. So if see this one that's a little thicker, I might put a pretty little wildflower on there, on this one right here, and cover it all up if I don't like it.
Well, we've
but
definitely seen
up and out and away. Make it look like a
Volume
nice
2,
field of
Basic
grass.
Fruits and Animals on Broadcast 31.
See how simple that is?
We also have
Just make a
walls and
flowing
furniture.
movement. And
Oh,
this
for
brush
like
should feel like butter.
Oh my
very
God.
nice and smooth. Like
This
you're
one's
painting
Donna
with
showing
butter.
you how to paint
so if
this
it's
stuff like
dragging and
directly
it's
on
dry,
your
go
walls
back
in
and
your
get some
home.
floating medium, all right? All right. Now, that's the first stroke. We've used this large brush. Most of you will want to use a smaller brush, but use a large brush because it's going to be easier for you. Now, next thing I want to do is pick up some more paint and in different variety of colors so that we can make these pretty little stock flowers like lavender. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pick up some white, and let's go over here and get some bluish purple. I'm going to pick up the two colors, and remember what I said, we're going to work that into the brush, dipping one corner, dip the other corner. Now this is going to be the hardest thing for you to remember, that every time you pick up paint, you have to reload the brush all the way up, 2/3 up the bristles. Now on the smaller brushes, it's a little bit more difficult to work it up that high up the bristles. And it's not a really hard task, but it's a very important task. So push back and forth, working it up the bristles. Okay, so we have it 2/3 up, then we dip into paint. All right, when it was loaded, it was
I've told Mel
2/3,
that I
and
think
we
she'd really
slightly,
enjoy
gently
Sister
dip
Wendy's
into
story
each
of
color.
painting.
Now what we're going to do is
So I
we're
hope we
going
can
to
watch
also
it
be
sometime
up
when
on this
she's
edge of the
available.
brush, the chisel edge. We're going to touch,
I'm really excited
lean
for
the
Sister
bristles
Wendy
towards
tape.
the white and pull. Now watch this one more time. Touch, lean, pull. Touch, lean, pull. All right, so we're not just touching and lifting, it's touch, lean, pull. Very important because that's what makes your nice pretty strokes. So we're going to put our little finger there for support and pull little strokes down. Now what I did was I started at the top doing one, and then I worked down. So I'm working from the left over to the right. Now what you don't want to do, you don't want to do one here, and one in the middle. Because as you're going down, it's going to look all exactly alike. And also, you don't want to make it look like wheat back and forth, okay? Because that's not going to look as nice. Now let's go back on top of this, which is a really good thing for you to see. If you make mistakes or a stroke that you really don't like, pick up fresh new paint and restroke right over it. Don't try wiping it off. You'll mess up your project, and you don't need to do that. As long as you're not using water and you're using nice thick paint, you can stroke right over those strokes and never see them and not get a muddy look. And what you're going to love also about thick, creamy acrylic paint, which we're using, is that you don't have to let anything dry in between the strokes. You don't have to get out a blow dryer or anything and dry it up. All you do is stroke right on top of strokes. Now, as I'm getting down to the end here, I'm pushing a little bit harder because that's how I want this flower to look. All right, now what we're going to do is
This
change
is
some
great.
colors. Let's change.
I'm glad you guys are getting some
wine.
good
Now, I love doing the wildflowers
incidental
with you because
innuendo
what it makes you
from
do
it.
is learn how to load really good because you keep switching colors.
I'm enjoying
So we're
just
going to pick
the
up
vibes
wicker
of Donna
white,
talking
berry
to
wine.
us.
Same thing, remember, dip,
And the aesthetic
dip,
of this
work
early
it in.
90s decorative
And
flower
it's
art.
2/3 full, very important. Most important thing about my technique, remember, is the loading of the brush.
And my favorite thing about this
Right.
tape is that I
Now,
can leave
we're
and
gonna
go
get
make
it
coffee
all
now.
loaded, and then don't forget the next
trust
step
Donna.
is we dip very
Y'all
gently
behave for
this
Donna,
time,
okay?
Very gently into our two colors,
Don't say anything
and
weird
the berry
in front
wine.
of
You
Donna.
can even dip a little yellow,
She's a
so
nice
that's
lady.
like triple loading it. Now let's come over here and do some more strokes. Now we're pulling down one, pull, 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 pull. It's touch, lean, pull, remember. And I'm working from the left to the right. Now see how it's getting faded, where it looks like I'm losing a little bit of my shading? Well, all I'm going to do is come pick up some more fresh paint at that point and start stroking again. What really helps with these little strokes is that you don't have to pick up paint every stroke, but about every third or fourth stroke. One of the many strokes that you're going to do as you're learning to paint, you're going to have to pick up paint almost every single stroke. Now, this is a design thing. What I don't want to do, design-wise, is put one here, one color, and then one here and one here. So I want to put one there, maybe another short one next to it. Okay, so we don't want the same color, just one of each all around your design. You want to have, like they would grow in the garden, a couple together there and maybe one pink one way over here. Now, the way these stacked flowers are going to look, depending on how hard you push, you can make it look like a totally different flower each time that you stroke a new one by how hard you push. Let me show you another way to use that chisel edge. Now, these are fun so far because they're all little chisel edge strokes. I even love to work with children with these strokes because they think they're so fun. They feel like, wow, they've accomplished something that easy. Now, the same stroke, watch what happens. I'm going to come way up here, and I'm going to touch, lean, pull all the way around, and I've got a yellow here, a school bus yellow and wicker white. You can use any yellow color you want, and I'm pulling those all in towards the center, and look what we have. We have a daisy. And then we can do a little short one down here, not a short one, but a half of one. See that? Which looks like a daisy. And then I'm going to use the handle of the brush. Watch this. We're going to dip right in here. See? You're going to love. When I first started painting, I learned how to paint with the tip of the handle tip of the brush. My husband laughs at me because that's the first painting I used to do is dot painting. Okay? And there's your center. That easy. So I've got one more cute little flower I'd like to show you. And those are like dandelions, the ones that blow and float into the air. Real simple, fun little strokes. And I'm going to go back to the little blue. And remember how we were stroking our grass where we're flipping the brush outward? We're not flipping it, remember, the whole hand's going. Well, this time, we're going to hold our finger here, and you can flip it with your wrist. Okay, we're going to take little teeny strokes. And remember how I said you're leading with a lighter color? Well, we're up on the chisel edge, my little finger's right here, and I'm flipping the brush up from my wrist this time because I want short, little, teeny fluffs. All right, and we're done. We'll add another little one over here maybe. Like I don't have a piece of grass here but I want a piece of grass here like a stem. So I might put one right in the middle here. And see when it looks all muddy, I'm going to come back with some fresh, just picked up blue this time. This is night sky. You can use any kind of purplish blue color. And then this time, let me show you a little trick. You can pick up your paint, go back in the floating medium. If you notice, the only time on this whole project so far that I've used floating medium is on the long grass, because when you're on those short little strokes, you don't really need it. So I'm going to take one little teeny touch here at the bottom of this dandelion and pull it down. Now you can do that. See, I want this to really look like it's attached there, so I can do the same thing there. Now, if you've put too many flowers and you've lost all your grass, all you have to do at this point is pick up a little bit more paint and come back and stroke some more green right over the front of it, and then it looks a little bit more natural. Now, what I would do at this point, after I have my fun little wildflower garden, is I'm going to pick up my scruffy, And we're going to pick up, and remember, we're going to load this with 2 colors. We're going to pounce right into the edge of the white. All right, then we're going to come over here and pounce right into the edge of the green. It's real important that we just pounce into the edge, not the middle. Now, I think I want a little bit of yellow for color, so I'm going to pick up that yellow and pounce that in. A little bit more white. And now I'm holding this brush like I'm foaming a wall, and you're pouncing and moving around, which is real important, because I don't want you to do this. Look at this. I don't want you to go straight across like that. All right? What I want you to do is move your hand around. See how nice that is? You're moving it around. You can even have a second layer of moss down here, right down here. There we go. There. Isn't that fun? Look at all the strokes you can already do. Now let's make your design of wildflowers a little bit more interesting. I'm going to teach you a few more flowers, and we're going to stroke those together. Now what I want to do first is put a pretty little vine on here, which is really nice. You're going to like this because it's very simple. We're picking up our green, and then I want a little bit of floating medium, and I'm going to work it into my loaded brush. Okay? Now what I want to do is start down here in the mossing area and make one vine. Remember, I'm lifting the white, dragging the green little bristles, and then we're going to come around to the top. Now we're going to come back, pick up a little bit more green, and we're going to, right here, we're going to come over here, touch on one side of the vine, trail over, touch on this side of the vine and trail over there, touch right here and trail over there, all the way around. So it looks like a nice natural looking vine. Now what we're going to do at this point is we're going to put some little 5-petal flowers. And on these petals we're going to pick up 2 colors. Let's pick up a blue and a white. I've got night sky and wicker white. You can pick up any kind of color that you really like. What I like to tell you is make sure that you paint what matches your house, not mine. I always pick out colors I kind of like, but your house might need another color. All right? So now look at this brush. I don't quite have that 2/3. It's a little bit more than half, but not quite 2/3. So I'm going to pick up some more, push hard back and forth and work that in. Okay? Now this is a fun little stroke. Let me show you. What we're going to do is we're going to touch. Remember, I put my little finger there. Touch, push the petal outward, and then let it stand back up. So we touch, push, let the brush stand back up, push, let it stand back up. And see how I'm losing some of my color? Pick up fresh paint, touch, push, all the way around until you have at least 5 petals. You can do more than 5 petals, but never 4, all right? I'm going to go back over that stroke because I'm not real happy with that. Now see, that's the beauty of this paint. This is FolkArt paint. It's real thick and creamy, and it doesn't have, it's not real thin at all. If you've got a real thin paint, you can't do these strokes. Remember, I told you it makes it muddy. So what's really fun is that you look at this like a teardrop. You push, let it stand back up. All right? It looks like a little teardrop or a raindrop. Push, you touch, push, let it stand back up. Now you can work in the workbook on this a little bit too, because they'll help you get these strokes. It's a real simple stroke. You just need to practice from, there's a little black line that you practice from, and stand back up. Push, stand back up. All right, but it's making the bristles do the work and not your hand. You're not twisting your hand trying to make that movement. You want to just look at my hand. I'm touching, I'm pushing on the bristles. I just touch, push, and let the bristles stand back up. Can't say bristles today, but I will get it down for you, okay? All right, now we're going to push, lift, push, lift, push, lift. And I'm going to make a little trailing flower coming off here. See, little teeny, little, see how simple those strokes are? I push, and let it stand right back up. And don't worry about that complete loop and that complete little teardrop. But look what happens when you get here. You go just like this, very lightly, ever so lightly, and then go dab, 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 dab. And it looks like it's trailing off of there. So let's come up here and do a few more of those. Those are kind of fun. 1, 2, 3, 4 maybe. And I'm not doing a complete flower, so it's okay to do 4 there. Then maybe 3, and then dab, 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 dab. And it looks like it's just kind of trailing off the vine. Those are kind of fun because sometimes I put a vine around in a foyer or something where we don't want berries and we really don't want flowery designs. So you can do these little designs here, and they might look like a piece of fruit or a flower. It's kind of neutral looking, all right? Now, I'm going to come up here and do a few more. And then remember, I just use the end of the handle of my brush. I'm going to dip in to the yellow and then dot my centers. That's the easiest stroke you'll ever do, I promise. All right, all the way around. Now, we're going to do some one-stroke leaves, and these one-stroke leaves are so much fun, and you can just do a whole design. I paint sometimes all over furniture with just a one-stroke leaf, and it's really fun. I use a smaller brush. This time I'm going to use the number 12, picking up my green and working it in. Okay? Remember, 2/3 full. By the time you get through with this little wildflower design, you will have loading that brush down pat. All right? Now I'm going to work this in, pick up a little bit of yellow, and then we're going to do these leaves. They're going to be really fun. Now you have to listen to my words so you make sure that you're doing what I'm telling you to do on this. And it's real simple. We're not making an S movement. We're not turning our whole hand with it. We're going to push down, turn the green edge slightly towards where your tip of your leaf is going to go, and slide. All right? Push, turn, lift. As we're sliding, see, you're pushing, turning, lifting. That's real difficult terminology, isn't it? Push, turn, lift. Push, turn, lift, push, turn, lift. And then immediately when you get through doing those strokes, you take and pull a stem right into them. Now remember, what's the stem pulled in with? It's leading with the white. And we're dragging little white bristles, little green bristles into each leaf. Push, turn left, pull the stem right into it. All right, all the way up along your vine. All right, push, turn left, push, turn left. All right, now I've got another little fun design, something that will really add to these wildflowers, and that is we're going to put some little colored moss down at the bottom. Now, let me show you a quick and easy way to do this. Now, I'm very lazy, so I don't like to have to wash my brush and clean it, for every little color of mossing that I want to put, like out in this field of moss, field of grass. So I'm pouncing my whole brush with white, okay? Now, this is the trick. You're going to, you know how normally I say push straight down, okay? Well, this time we're going to ever so lightly tip some yellow, turn the brush over, and get the ever so lightly get the other tip, and grab some berry wine, or pinky, purple, whatever color. All right, now when we're on our piece here, look what we're going to do. We're going to pounce little teeny mossing, ever so lightly tipping the brush so you're just touching very, very gently the tip of this brush. Now, look what you do. You turn the brush completely over to the yellow side, and then we're going to tip a little bit of yellow. Now, instead of washing this brush out and drying it all out like I showed you have to dry this brush, let me show you what we're going to do. Very quick and easy. No water. Remember, water messes up this brush. We don't want to use water because it makes everything muddy, and it's really hard to get it out because you have to let everything dry. See, I'm just wiping off the excess. Go right back to my white. Okay, let's come right back here. Repounce some white back into the brush. All right, and let's get a little bit of blue this time. Okay, so what's great about that is you don't have to keep cleaning that brush out and drying it all out. And there we go. So you can at least do 2 colors at a time. Now, isn't that fun? And I paint these on all kinds of fun little note cards, all kinds of really fun little projects. And this is really great to do with your kids. Don't forget, sit down and have family night and do it. You'll love it. All right, now the next lesson's going to be leaves. Now you're going to love my leaves because they make your whole piece look like you're an artist. But when you're doing the leaves, this wiggling part is the part you've got to get down pat. So don't get discouraged at yourself. Remember, your handle's straight up and down, and you've got to put pressure. Everybody who asks me, what am I doing wrong? They're not pushing hard enough. So the first thing we're going to do is load up our large brush. I like to practice with a large brush because you can see if you're getting those wiggles down good or not. So what I want you to do is pick up the wicker white. Remember, we're almost scooping it up when we're starting. Now this green's going to be a little bit softer than my last green. This green's the FolkArt Thicket color, but you can use any other shade that you like. I just particularly like to use this color. Now I'd like you to watch me when I'm loading, because if you notice I went to white, some sunflower color here, and some green, this light yellow. All right, and I'm working it in. Remember how high? You want it 2/3 high, up the bristles. All right, now I'm going to do the vine that I'm going to put these leaves on, so I'm going to dip a little bit of floating medium because I need that long vine with no problems going all the way up. I'm going to dip into these colors now that my brush is loaded. Now, this is what we're going to do. We're going to start down here and let's go all the way up like I showed you before. This is good that you practice this because sometimes it's going to be thick, sometimes it's going to be thin, and the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll feel. So we're going to start on one side, trail over to the other. Don't make all the vines come from right down here because they don't grow in nature all from the ground up. They break off a little branch that grows this way and a little branch that grows that way. Okay, all the way around. Now don't worry if it feathers out like that. I kind of think that looks good. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start painting some of these leaves. Now the first leaf is a heart leaf, and I'm going to show you a really quick, easy way to decide where to lay each one of these sides to this stroke. Now when I say one stroke painting, it doesn't mean that the entire leaf happens in one stroke like it was happening with those flowers. It means that in each stroke you blend, shade, and highlight. Now see, I'm going to put a V there. Now this V is going to help me know which side to put the positioning to put each side of the leaf. So I touch right here and I go 1, 2, 3. Now that's going to blend consistently my color, spread my bristles. Now your handle straight up and down and you start wiggling. See that wiggle? You're wiggling back and forth all the way around, and then you let your brush gently stand up evenly at the same time. See my bristles standing up? That's what you want to see. Now let's go on this side, 1, 2, 3, and we're going to wiggle around and stop wiggling and slide to the tip. Now look what happens here. It looks like a heart. Now we want to take our stem immediately and pull it down into our leaf. Let's do one more before I show you another more advanced way how you can start adding to this leaf. It's not really advanced, it's just more, I'm going to try this one upside down. It's just more details. 1, 2, 3, wiggle, stop wiggling and slide to the tip. 1, 2, 3, wiggle and slide to the tip, and then we're going to pull our stem in. Now, see this heart leaf? Let me show you how easy it is to turn that leaf into an ivy leaf. Now what we're going to do is pick up our color on each tip. Remember our brush is loaded. You're not going to come here and do this number. See this? We're not going to work this in. We're just going to, the brush should be already loaded. Every time you dip like this and come in here, you wipe off what you pick up. So you don't want to do that. You want to gently dip ever so lightly into each color. Now let's come here and make the ivy. Now what the ivy is, we still have our V. The V's are all important, all right? So we know our placement. Then we go 1, 2, 3, and we're going to paint an angel wing, and it's going to come out to the side. 1, 2, 3. This ivy takes 4 strokes, and those are the first 2 strokes. Now the key is to make them go out, not down, all right? So you practice that, and you'll feel real comfortable with it after you can realize what position and placement you want here. Now we want to put another V, all right? Now don't use the edge of your brush like this to draw it. Put your brush straight down like the chisel of all the bristles and stroke it like that. Okay, now this is easy. Now you're going to paint right in the middle of here the heart leaf that we were just practicing. Now see, it's ever so slightly lower than that first V. Can you see that? Now we're going to put our leaf in there, our heart leaf in there, and look how nice that ivy looks, and simple too. All right, now I've got a real fun leaf that everybody likes, but you have to watch real close so you don't miss out. And it's the way you can obtain turn leaf without working really, really hard. I always wanted to do a turn leaf, but I didn't know where to shade it and where to highlight it. Well, you don't have to do any of that, so let me show you. We're going to put a V right here again, and the first side's going to be just like the first half of the heart leaf. 1, 2, 3, wiggle, and slide. All right, now this is the trick, the second half. And this is so much fun. So just practice a few minutes when you're doing this, and you'll get this S movement. It's 1, 2, 3, and we start wiggling, then we stop, and watch the handle of my brush. I'm going to turn the entire brush around in my fingers and lift. Now, you know what everybody asks me at this point? Please do it again. So let me do it again for you, because you're going to like that. As you're watching the stroke, watch the handle of my brush and watch how I roll the handle in my fingers, okay? So let's come here. I've got to get an easy place for me to reach
How
it.
y'all
Let's
doing?
try way down here. This would be easier
How's
for
Donna
my
been treating
hand because
you?
I can't do it very well upside down. Remember, you can turn your little project around. You don't have to be like me at this easel. Okay, 1, 2, 3, wiggle this side. Now let's do the other side. 1, 2, 3, you start wiggling. Now watch my handle. I'm twisting the brush all the way around, and I slide to the tip. Isn't that amazing?
I'm back, and now I'm going to eat this
It looks like I
oatmeal.
worked hard to shade and highlight it, and it was that easy. Now, I've got another fun leaf that every time I ever paint this, everybody says, oh, do it again. Or they go, oh, wow. All right, so let's do this together. It's real fun. You do the stem, the leaf, and the veins all in one stroke without lifting your brush, okay? So, remember those little one-stroke leaves? We're touching, pushing, turning the green towards the tip, sliding to the tip. We don't lift. We just lift the little white edge of the brush, slide it back through the leaf, and we're to the stem. Now they say, do it one more time. So let's do it one more time, okay? Let's do it quick here. Push, turn, lift, slide it back through. Let's come do one right here. Push, turn, lift, slide it back through. Just that easy. Now, isn't that fun? Now up here, let me just add a few little one-stroke leaves. I usually don't like to use that brush. Now, pull the stem into it from the main vine into your leaf. And if you notice, I want you to see how far I come into this leaf. I pull the stem almost halfway into the leaf. Can you see the position there? About halfway in, about halfway in. All right, down here on this ivy, it's only halfway in. You don't go all the way to the tip. It looks better if you don't. Now, let me show you how to make wisteria, and we'll add that to this pretty little vine with all these ornate little leaves. And you're going to like this because you get these leaves down and just painting a little bit of ivy around coming from a door jamb or pouring out of a drawer on a dresser. It looks really good. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to pass this brush into wicker white. Remember, half the brush in the wicker white.
Confident.
And then let's come over here so I can just get a little bit of purple. Now, wisteria is really fun. Some people call these lilacs. So
she didn't go to the.
Like to you, okay? Now,
she didn't go to the
we're have
Paris
two
Academy.
On this brush, I want you to see. See,
She
we
figured
have
this
a
stuff
white
out herself.
And a purple, and I don't want it to be one
She wanted
color.
to make this particular kind of art, and she figured out how to do it, and now she's sharing it with you.
All soft, one shade, okay?
It's beautiful.
Now, let me show you how you're going to pounce this. You're going to pounce your hand like you're fauxing a wall. You're moving it around, okay? Now, I'm going to pick up more paint, and I just picked up purple because it's looking pretty white to me. And you don't pounce until it comes one color. See how I can see all the different shading there? Now what you want to do after you have your round area is lean your brush on its edge and taper off. So it looks, I'm from Florida, so it looks like a Florida tornado, not a Texas tornado, okay? Texas tornadoes stay big all the way down. Now I want it as a big ball and then tapering really small to a small ball. Let's do one more. Round area, then we lean our brush and we ever so lightly tip to the bottom. Now you have dark purple, light purple, medium purple, white, all the way down, picked up a little green, all that pretty shading, and doesn't that look good? And it's so easy. This little brush is my beginner's favorite brush.
Wow. Oh my God, sorry. Look at all these happy old ladies holding up their sunflower plates.
Now we're going to paint sunflowers, and this is going to be a
Deb and I
lesson
have the
that
same
you're
brain
going to
cell on this
love,
one.
and we're going to do it together, and it tells you and
Text
shows
tornado.
you how quick and easy the stroking and the shading and the highlighting happens when you use one stroke. And so we're going to use our favorite brush, the Scruffy, and we're going to put our brown and our black on the brush at the same time. But I want my sunflower to be mostly brown tones, so I'm going to pounce a lot more brown, more than half brown, and then a little bit of licorice, all right? This is maple syrup and licorice, all right? So see, well, you can't really see real well, but I've got 2/3 brown and a little bit of black. Now, you need a lot of paint, though, a lot. So I'm even going to go in there and get a little bit more. Now watch what happens. I'm going to make a C.
Do not eat
I'm
the maple syrup and licorice.
In a C
They contain
movement,
cadmium.
Okay, so it's good. I'm going to start the C right here. I'm going to pounce. See how I'm lifting and pouncing? It's firm
Naming
but
your
light.
paint colors
I don't know
after
how to explain
food.
that except to tell you
Seems
that
like an odd
watch how I'm
choice.
pouncing my hand. And we're going to start here and we come all the way around.
It's like
and
the
it should
choice of
look like a
making
chocolate
fabuloso
donut
cleaning
with
liquid
chocolate
look
icing.
like a delicious
So
juice.
think about that. This dark part in here is the center of the donut. The chocolate icing's on the top. Now while that's wet, we're going to pick up the yellow and the gold. See how I'm picking this up? I'm stroking right into it, right here. See? Right there, a little bit there, and then come over here and pull and stroke. This is your one-stroke leaf, and by the time you get these done, you'll have that one-stroke leaf pad. Because look what happens. See the little streaks? I'm grabbing just a little bit of the wet paint in the center and pulling out of it. Now the trick here is that you have to take and make sure that you've stroked all these petals out before the center dries. Well, all you have to do is if it dries before you get to it, you just take your brush and repounce that edge that might be dry and wet it up so that you can just come in here and pull right from here again. I'll move to both sides there. I'll move around here. See, now what happens is in the bottom where I had the black, it has darker streaks. Up here where I'm doing the brown, it has a softer streak, okay? Now it's push, turn, left, and you don't want it to look like a sundial where all the petals are going one way, facing one way. You want them going out and away all the way around. Now we're gonna come out here and just do a few little petals for a little bud. See how I'm kind of stroking them out and away from each other? Very simple. And one other quick little bud that's fun is where the sunflower is popping up and the petals, maybe this is one that's already wilting maybe, okay? But I think they're kind of fun. We just pull all the petals downward on this guy, all right? Now, what you do, the most important thing is that you go back and you clean up all around here where the petals were pulled from it, because sometimes you'll lose your shape. So you reload the brush just like before, repounce all the way around. This also puts little teeny splatterings around on the sunflower like you see in real nature, okay? Come over here and pounce this. Now I like to put a little highlight, so I'm going to take this brush and watch what I do here. I go right to the edge of that yellow ochre, just on the brown side of my brush, and pick up a little bit of gold, just ever so lightly. And then we're going to come right here and we're going to tip on this wet center. Now if you tip on the wet center, it really looks like it's into your design instead of laying on top, okay? And laying on top of all your painting, and it looks more natural. Now let me show you a quick little trick to make the sunflower leaves. I'm going to use a bright yellow. I'm going to use school bus yellow and really work it into my brush. And then this is what we're going to do. We're going to pull our stem. I'm going to get a little floating medium so I can pull that stem easier. I'm going to grab right here at the bottom, put my little finger to guide me, and pull my stem down. Touch, pull my stem down. Right here, watch this. 1, 2, let me get more green. It's not very strong there. 1, 2, 3. Just grab the base of that so it's like the bottom of the flower. Pull. Now watch this fun leaf. I'm going to show you. This is a half of a leaf, and I slide back around, and then we're going to do a close-up and show you how to do it really slow here so that you can get the stroke down. Now that's just a half of one. Now I've got a little trick where we do a little kite. Pull a stem down in the middle of the kite, okay? Now I want you to watch what I'm doing here. And then we'll do it together. You slide down, come back to the middle. You're going to touch the outside line, and see how my bristles are kind of leaning? You do it all the way to the tip. Now this makes it, let's see, this makes it really easy to get your shape, and that's what most people have a hard time with, is the shape. But remember, you wiggle all the way down to the bottom on this one, pull a stem right into it, and this is a fun, quick little project that you will like painting on lots of things. Sunflowers are popular and they're kind of endless. They just have stayed around as long as I've been painting, and I love them. They're fun.
Tippy Weddies for new soaking.
All right, our next lesson is going to be roses, and most people tell me that roses are the hardest technique.
Oh my God, that's my favorite Sunny we've ever gotten.
You try. Painting the rose is very difficult, but not my technique. It's the easiest thing. It's the thing that people start painting sometimes the very first project. So what I want to do is show you how we load these colors and how we can achieve a rose that you are going to not believe you've done. All right, we're going to take our brush and we've dampened it and laid it on our paper towel. Then we're going to load the brush. Now we're going to work this paint in. Very important. That's why I like to keep going to this, because it's so important that we push hard, load our brush. Now I want this to look like a peace rose, so I'm going to take this loaded brush and I'm going to dip into a little bit of sunflower, this yellow. All right, the soft yellow color, and then we're going to paint a big, beautiful rose. Now, there's a little trick to make this rose easy, is to get the shape of it. So I'm going to do, I don't think you'll see the white, so I'm going to do berry wine dots, and that's going to help you see the spacing and how far out you should start with your strokes. And you're going to come out here and paint a shell petal, a stroke that looks like a seashell, all the way out here around and cover those dots. Now let me show you a close-up, step by step, how we're going to achieve that seashell. We're going to take our brush and we're going to go 1, 2, 3. We're going to hold the brush down. Now we're going to wiggle, and our eyes should be looking at that outer edge as we're stroking that petal. What's going to happen is that when the rose is completely built, you do not see the inside of this rose. All you see is the outer petals. Now, we're going to keep picking up fresh paint almost every stroke. I'm going to pick up paint, okay? Now, there's our whole outer skirt.
Our boy is all grown up.
What we're going to do at this point is we're going to put a rosebud, just 2 strokes of a rosebud right in the dead center. So I'm going to decide which way I want this rose to point. If I want it that way, I put my bud that way, or this way, or even downward. You put it in the bottom half of this rose. So I'm going to put these 2 lines. Those lines are going to help me determine where to put this rose. The bud, we're going to go up and over. Now your eyes should be looking at that outer edge right here, this light edge, up and over. See, I can go over it a couple times if I'm not happy. Now, we're going to go from those same 2 lines. Remember, there's a line and there's a line. We're going to go from this line to this line and watch the white, and it's going to form a U. All right? Pretty easy so far, huh? Now, what I want you to do is pick up
She loves
more
being
paint.
awkwardly held up so that she's
now,
in
remember
the
these 2
frame.
lines right here? Very important, because we're going to start the second row of petals, 1, 2, 3, from that point. Now we're going to come over here, the second row of petals, 1, 2, 3. You do it from that line on that side. And you know what that does? That positions the skirt so that you're in the right position, so it looks like it's part of the flower and not something extra you added in the middle of your rose. Now, all the way around, making sure that that skirt, this edge right here, looks pretty, because that's what we're going to see when we're all done. Look at the depth you get. You blend, shade, and highlight all at one time. Now, every once in a while, you can work the paint into your brush if you're not happy with how your brush is looking. Now, remember the 2 lines, very important. You know, another thing that I want to make sure you realize is that, see where that line is? That you started that petal, that second row, right at that spot where you ended each stroke. Way up there, not down here low on this bud, on the side of the bud. Now on this side, we're going to touch, lean the white out. Now we're going to scoop up the berry wine as we cross in front of the bud. Now, this might be the most difficult part of this rose, but it's very simple if you listen to me. You lean the white out. Now watch me scoop the berry wine and just drag white bristles across the front. Now see, that fills in all that dark area in there that's left open. Now you can put a little slice down here just if you need something else to fill it. Now, is that amazing that you can paint a rose that quick? Simple steps. And I want you to look at all flowers like that, where you build them from the outside and in. Okay? Now, what we're going to do at this point is put in a couple rosebuds. Now, I'm going to teach you how to design a pretty spray that you're going to like to put on a lot of different projects. Now, we're going to put 2 lines here. We're going to go from line to line. Remember, if you're a left-handed person, and what you want to do is you'll probably stroke reverse of what we're stroking as right-handed from the opposite side, just like I just did here. And when we do our leaves, I'll show you lefties how to do that, which will make it easier for you. All right, let's put a couple buds down here. 1, 2, 3. You can add extra petals. You don't have to just do 3. But remember, 2 petals.
You can do 3,
2
never
strokes for
do
that
4.
bud. Out here, there's more strokes. See our line to line, up and over, make a U, and you can add a couple more petals. Now, make sure that you're working from the line to line because it makes a big difference. So you don't have to put the lines there, but you have to imagine
Donna
them
is
in your
actually
mind.
an
And it helps in the
extremely
beginning to put the
superstitious
lines
Chinese
there.
woman.
Now, we're going to paint those leaves, those wonderful
Do not
leaves that
paint
you
4
learned
of
earlier.
anything.
I'm going to come in here
is
and show you
unlucky.
a really pretty technique where you're going to add a little bit of pink. Remember, load this brush full of paint, dip some floating medium if you wish to, because I'm working on some paper here. Now, I'm going to pick up a little bit of pink, just a little bit of this berry wine, and work it in. Now, look what happens when I come here and stroke. I'm going to put my V. You might not need a V if you're right next to a rose, because the rose helps open up your leaf there. Okay, look how fun it is to have a little bit of pink in there. Gives it some really nice shading. All right, and then we pull our stem in. Now, the first thing that we're going to do, oops, that's a good one. See, I want to show you something. I picked up the wrong color on the wrong side of the brush. That happens. So let me show you what to do. Now, I did that on purpose. Can y'all tell? I'm going to take and I'm going to wipe the excess off of the paper
never
towel.
makes a mistake.
Do not go into water to do this. All right, because all you've done is put it on the outside of the brush. Now, what you want to do is pick up your color again, work it in, and then you're ready. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, the next thing on our design is we touch, lean towards the white, remember, and follow. See my hands following the rosebud. We touch, lean towards the lighter side of the chisel edge, and follow up around the rose. And then right in the middle, we push and lift. Now, that's pretty easy. You've just got to hold the brush handle straight up and down, touch, lean, pull, touch, lean, pull,
It looks
touch,
like
lift.
the head of
Do one more.
wizard staff.
All the way, push, lift, and pull our stems back. All right. Now that's kind of laid our design out. We can come in here with this larger brush, and we can pull a few stems into that. Put one way up here, maybe. Always pull into the leaf. You'll catch me every once in a while with a bad habit pulling back through, so don't do that, okay? Now, what we want to do is maybe come down here, put a couple of big ones here. See how I'm starting to lay out the design? Well, let me tell you a little trick that helps you with your design, because some people don't know which direction to point the leaves and which direction to point the bud. So you take your finger like this, and whichever way your fingertips point is which way you can paint a leaf. See, I've got one there, and the rosebud's pointing out that way, and these leaves are pointing that way. And that will help you make a design that looks really good, because we don't want the wind to blow all the leaves one way. We want them to follow our design or our vine. Now, let me show you something that's really fun too. I'm going to take and wipe all this paint off, but see, I still have a dirty brush. So what we're going to do with this brush is we're going to clean up into this floating medium. Remember, we have this medium here? We clean out like we're using a cleaner to clean out the brush. Wipe all that excess off.
Clean as if you're using a cleaner.
And let me show you. I'm going to put a little bit of pink in here
Clean like you're cleaning.
too. This is so fun. You're going to love it. This is called
Clean like
shadow
nobody's
leafing,
cleaning.
or like a watercolor look if you want to put this on a piece. Now look at this beautiful leaf and how fun this is. It's like you're a real artist very quickly. Look at this. Like, have you ever seen pretty canvases where they have those little soft leaves in the background? We're just painting right here with this floating medium, the gel that we've been using to make our brush strokes smooth, okay? But look how fun. Now, I've even done this with fruit and all kinds of blossoms in the background. But see, it just gives more depth. And you can make them all pink or whatever. Come in here and add a few little one-stroke leaves with the number 12. See, and I like to put 3 together. This is another design thing. 1, 2, 3 maybe, and then pull a stem into them. All right. Now, really quick, I like
Jess,
to come
thank
in
you
here
for the
and do
1,000
some
bits.
little filler petals.
Peter
We can
Gabriel.
put little, those 5-petal flowers, or we can put wisteria.
I will be
Wisteria is
happy to
really
play
quick.
Sledgehammer
And
for
if
you.
you
We
want
also
to
have-
paint, which I used to paint and make a lot of money painting, if you want to paint and make money, then what you want to do is use
We also have
the
Big
Scruffy
Time.
and do really. I feel
Remember-
like the faster
remember,
you paint, the
Big
more
Time
money you
is-
make, and you can make money with
Big
my
Time is
technique
good.
because you can paint fast, quick and easy. I'm going to come in here and pounce a round area, then come back, taper it off like this. Okay, now that's really quick, and most people look at that and go, wow, that is so pretty. And they can tell that it's a, you know, a trailing flower like lilacs or wisteria is what they call it. But now if you want to do something with a little bit more detail, remember your 5-petal flowers we learned. Okay, you're just picking up, we're doing our little petals. Now you can do them separate like this, little ones out, kind of overlapping each other a little bit. Or now watch this. What I'll do is I'll go 1, 2, 3. I'll come back in, pick up some more paint. 1, 2, 3, maybe.
All right, 1,000 bits from Green Day. Thank you.
I'm just doing portions of it.
Who else looks great? It is true. Peter Gabriel does get painted.
All right, and then I'm going to come in here.
We gotta
See
watch
how
Steam.
if I start adding some other colors, look how pretty that ends up being. Kind of looks a little bit like hydrangeas. All right, and then you can even take the handle of your brush, dip into your yellow, and just dot a few of those. Don't dot all of them, okay, just a few. Now, I want to show you your script liner and how fun this brush is to use, because a lot of people can't do the curly cues, and I thought it was hot stuff when I learned how to do them. But it took me a while. It's like one of the last things I taught myself. So I'm going to pick up water, and I'm making a circle next to the puddle.
Sorry, Haley.
See how good that looks? You can put it right next to the puddle. Right
we went
here.
to a vintage
Never
clothing
go into the
store
middle
yesterday.
Of the puddle, always out here.
And Haley
now you
found
need to
something
dip into
really
water
great.
3 times.
Yeah, we were joking
See how I'm
when I
laying this
first tried
brush
this skirt
down?
on. So
Now
about the
all
skirt
the
in your
times I'm
pants.
telling
I
you to
like
work
long
with these
skirts,
brushes.
and I was like,
your
I'll see if it'll
handle's
make it
straight
work
up and
for
down,
me.
you're
So then I
putting
added
pressure,
this cool
okay?
like slit to it,
You're
and that
putting
was nice.
pressure on
But
the
I
bristles.
joked that
Now
it made me
this
look
brush,
like
we don't want pressure on the
Juliet
bristles. We
Gordon-Low,
want to roll out of your puddle.
very giving Girl Scout.
Okay. We're gonna
So we
take
went
this
to
brush.
a
Now
store that
watch
had
me
some
do
vintage
this.
clothes,
We're gonna take this brush.
and what did we find but a Girl Scout shirt?
Put our brush.
This is the Girl Scout logo. This is official Girl Scout merchandise from some time ago. I don't know.
It looks 60s or 70s.
Yeah. So actually, coincidentally, I did participate in a Girl Scout historical fashion show years and years and years ago. So like they used to have more parts to their uniform. I mean, not that this would have been an official part or anything. You know, nowadays we just like wear a sash or vest or whatever. But anyway, it was a little too perfect. So finally, this love story has made to be this skirt that I imported from a thrift store in Japan for like $1 US. And then finally, I have found the perfect Girl Scout shirt to go with it.
Makes it look really pretty.
It's a very good look.
Let me show you while we're talking about these strokes really quick. If you're left-handed.
Thank you. I'm very proud of it.
You look great.
It's a good fit.
Remind you lefties what you're going to do. You're going to take and hold this brush, and you know how we're painting these leaves out to the side? I want you to always stroke these towards your body. Push, turn left, and pull them towards your body. I can't do it with my left hand, but I can tell you how to do it, okay? And the same thing happens when you want to turn your piece so that you're pulling those leaves towards you instead of out to the right, which most right-handed people would probably do. And that will make it a lot easier for you. All right? Now, let me show you how to sign
did Haley
what we're
tip
going
the
to do
bingo?
here. When we're
Bingo
signing,
results?
we take our finger, we're pulling all these strokes downward, okay? So we pull, for small detail, I'm always stroking down. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, all downward
Oh my
stroke
God, she signs her
with the
name,
tip of the
Donna.
brush. The key is that you're on the tip of the brush and
On
this
the-
little finger's holding you up. Now what I'd like to do is show you really quick how you can add some string ribbon inside
Donna.
your bouquet. Now you can use
Amazing.
a flat, sassy looking ribbon, but you really need to do that before you do your leaves.
Can you
But
really
then
win
have
bingo
to
if you're
realize
not?
that the bow's going to be way out
there?
here showing and your leaves are going to be on top of it. So you kind of think ahead.
I thought
and
the
I
rule
like
was
to
you had to call
tell
bingo.
you the things that you should be thinking of. Okay. So we're going to take and make big string ribbons. See, remember how I said pull it down? Downward, nice little trails. Look how fun that is. All right? Now, I've had a lot of fun showing you the things that I love to paint, and what I want you to realize is it's really important that you practice. And what we've done today is that we've painted wildflowers, fun little wildflowers, are easy, fun strokes, and our sunflowers, all sorts of leaves that you can turn them into something that's really pretty, and roses. So I want you to take this, have fun, practice, and enjoy.
The One Stroke Video Library series featuring Donna Dewberry is presented by
Plaid Enterprises Incorporated, bringing quality paints, mediums, stencils, and other tools to painters worldwide.
I don't know what original tape means. Cutters Productions. That was great. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to watch all of Donna Dewberry, but we because we'd already seen Volume 2, but that was really fun. Also, I made oatmeal and coffee and fed the dog, because this is one of those streams where I rolled out of bed at 9:55. So I appreciate having both a chill audience that is fine with just vibing with the tape and not having constant, incessant commentary, and also just grateful for that what I'm doing is basically the equivalent of substitute teacher playing VHS tapes, where I can like go take a smoke break. Metaphorically speaking, don't smoke cigarettes, kids, they're bad for you. Let's get rid of Donna Dewberry. And I guess it's time for the Peter Gabriel segment here on Golden VCR today. Now we're just radio DJ. Yeah, I am going to say, once again, these are not I haven't put these on the official list on the website yet, which is this. Because I have not yet captured Don't Give Up version 2, Shock the Monkey, or Mercy Street. But if those are requested, I can then capture them. If you request them, please do so in order, so that I can just get them done with. But also, Big Time is really underrated. If anybody else is itching for a Peter Gabriel request at some point in the future, consider Big Time. For now, though, Sledgehammer and Steam, real classics. We got Peter Gabriel being painted. You love to see it. Let's get that queued up. And Brad wants Red Rain. Thank you, Jess. That's very generous of you. Okay. Well, it's time for Peter Gabriel. I really can't complain here. You guys are being very generous with your support, and Peter Gabriel is being very generous by not copyright striking all the VODs. Let's see. Red Rain. All right. So we got Sledgehammer, we got Steam, we got Red Rain. Let's do it. And thank you again, by the way, to West Coast Deb, who sent us the Peter Gabriel CD tape. And Brad, of course, for the computer animation tapes that introduced us to the man himself. Yeah, I looked at his website. He doesn't have any tour dates listed. His newest album, I.O., he did like a ton of touring for.
You could have a
I was muted. I do like this better than Steam, just for listening purposes. Good morning and happy Friday indeed. Okay, no one won it before Facebook got back. Excellent. You need a square for 3 or more Peter Gabriel songs are requested back to back. Oh boy, I do need to I do need to spend more time on home movies. That is a personal project that has been kind of replaced at this point by Golden VCR. I need to go through all these video clips too and normalize the audio, I think. Because some are louder than others. Bet I could bash script an FFmpeg command to do that for me. Hey, it's painted Peter Gabriel. There we go. Yeah, somebody pointed that out in the Discord. The Steam moment. Morning, Swift. Oh my god. Nice one, Green Day.
know you're green from your red. You know the quick from the dead.
For the record.
So much better than the rest.
Hey, Starlone Gunner, thank you for the sub. For the record, Seemingly Jess requested Sledgehammer, Green Day requested Steam, and then Jess requested Red Rain on behalf of Brad.
You know the throttle from the brake. You know your straight line from a curve. You've got a lot of love, but I know you.
I really want a novelty sexy pen now.
Give me steam.
I haven't seen those in
How you feel can make it real.
20 years.
Real as any place you've been. Get along with the dreamer's dream. Everybody knows dial, hold your breath, counter fire, act slap, booby trap, cover it up in bubble wrap.
Every time we play Steam, I remember that the music video for Peter Gabriel's Steam is over 5 minutes long.
This is more than I can take. Oh yeah, I need steam. Feel the steam around me. Help me out. Ready to steam and loud down.
Finally, to complete the Peter Gabriel trilogy, today we have Red Rain. Suggested by Brad and generously pushed through by Seemingly Jess. These are Sledgehammer and Red Rain are from CB, a music video compilation released contemporaneously with Peter Gabriel's 5th album, So. And yeah, it's got 8 tracks. Grabbed a couple of things off the shelf. So we still have the 60-minute NASA documentary on the Challenger disaster and investigation, which I'd like to watch today. We also have, in the interest of getting tapes off the shelf, this is a quick one, an 8-minute Sylvan Learning Center promotional tape from 1999. Oh my God. Rainbow Blades. A dragon holding a rainbow prize flag. I like that one. Thank you, Reed. There's actually UAB, the University of Alabama at Birmingham. Their mascot is a dragon named Blaze. And they're the UAB Blazers. I may be a bit quiet. Yeah.
Sylvan means from the forest, like of the woods, like Pennsylvania or Transylvania. But yeah, I have the same connotations because I played like Warcraft 2 as a kid, where the elves are all Sylvan elves because they're from the woods. It has strong fantasy connotations like that, yeah. If I've learned anything about Peter Gabriel, it's that he's an incredibly versatile artist, songwriter. He's also a huge human rights activist. While that is not directly on the nose pride theme, I do think we can all agree that gay rights and trans rights are human rights. And that the broader cause of working against oppression around the world is important. It's all the same fight. Oh yeah, We Sing in Sillyville was pretty fey.
Red rain coming down. Red rain coming down. Red rain coming down. Red rain coming down.
Okay. Oh, we do need Nut. I gotta write that down. There are just too many ideas. Not enough time. I think Red Rain is in fact coming down. I know we've gotten great. We've had great results. Thank you, by the way, to Jess and Green Day for those music requests. We've had a lot of success, a lot of good luck with music video tapes. It's always a kind of a crapshoot because you never know if it's going to just get immediately blocked in the VOD. But I do also have Fast Movin' Train, great video hits from Restless Heart. They're a Nashville country music group from... When is this tape from? This is only a 25-minute tape. There's 6 music videos on here. Back to the Heartbreak Kid, Why Does It Have to Be, Wrong or Right, The Bluest Eyes in Texas, A Tender Lie, Dancy's Dream, and Fast Movin' Train. I think it could be pretty good. It's copyright 1990. By BMG, who we've seen... BMG was, I think, the rights holder for the... for some of the animation tapes. And we didn't have issues with that. But yeah, let's do Sylvan. Sylvan Learning Center. Success is learned. Approximately 11 minutes. I don't know why I said 8. Sometimes it has different run times in different places, though. Oh. Yeah, I think most of us are familiar with Sylvan from the commercials airing on TV, but I Spy a Moose, I'm interested to hear about your experience. I don't know if it was, like, good. At Sylvan, every child can be a success. From kindergartners to high school seniors, for students who need to catch up, keep up, or get ahead, Sylvan's unique proven approach to learning has helped create more than 1 million success stories. It can work for your child, too. Watch this informative video and find out how. We get to know your child by asking the right questions. We identify your child's academic strengths and weaknesses using our comprehensive Sylvan Skills Assessment. We tailor your child's personal learning program to his or her unique skill needs. We make learning fun, and we guarantee success. Your child will improve 1 full grade level in reading or math within 36 hours of instruction. All right. Yeah, this was like a huge company that did maybe they're still around, that does tutoring. Success is learned. This was undoubtedly sent to someone in the mail, someone who requested more information. Back in the day, man, before you could just like Google stuff, you had to see a TV commercial and then call an 800 number and give them your address. And they would mail you a videotape and you'd put it in your VCR and you'd watch it. And read through little brochures. This is from 1999, so only 25 years ago. Ah!
When my friends raised their hands, I was envious of them because I didn't know the answer. And now I know how to work out the problems. Everybody's like, you better listen to him because he's pretty smart.
Every child wants to succeed, and all parents want to help their children.
This tape is quiet. I'm boosting it.
Over the next 10 minutes, we'd like to share with you some of the real success stories from the more than 1 million children of all ages and skill levels who have learned how to be more successful at Sylvan Learning Center.
Remind me that I boosted the volume.
I wake up in the morning, I get dressed real quick so I can go to school and have a lot of fun in reading. School is great.
I've always been pretty good in math, so I started going to this accelerated program at Sylvan, and now I'm like this total math whiz. It's weird.
With centers in almost every community, Sylvan Learning Center is the leading provider of supplemental education. For over 2 decades, our unique, proven approach to learning has helped create more than 1 million success stories. Whether you have a student in kindergarten or high school, an achiever who wants to get ahead, or a smart child who just needs some extra help, we hope you'll listen carefully, because so much can depend on it.
We live in a very competitive society. It's going to be tougher for my kids to get ahead than it was for me to get ahead. There's a very global economy right now.
Oh, Peter.
In order for our kids to make it, they need the best possible education. Getting a college degree isn't good enough anymore. I want my kids to have every single advantage they can.
Oh, good, that helps.
At Sylvan, we start with the belief that every student can be a success because success is learned. Here's how we make it happen. Before we teach your child, we'll get to know your child. That's why we begin not with answers, but with questions. Does your child need to catch up, keep up, or get ahead? In what subjects? What is your child's attitude towards school? What learning patterns have you noticed over the years? By asking these questions and many more, we'll know where to begin.
It was the most wonderful feeling in the world to think that everything that I'd struggled with for so many years, that there was a way to fix the problem and that we were fixing it.
I walked into the conference distressed and I walked out feeling like, yes, we can handle this situation.
What would be worse.
And this is absolutely the right thing to do. I never had.
Being a kid who was struggling in school and whose parents sent me to Sylvan to fix myself,
or a personal learning program by
having
assessing
parents
your
who sent me to
child's
Sylvan
skills. That's where the unique
to
Sylvan
overachieve
Skills
more because I
Assessment
wasn't
comes into
overachieving
play.
enough, and I had to be the
This
most
evaluation
gifted child
uses
possible.
multiple indicators to pinpoint academic strengths and weaknesses and uncover specific skill
Which
gaps.
one of these is a
It
horse?
includes several nationally recognized standardized tests, vision and hearing screenings, and personal interviews. The Sylvan Skills Assessment takes 2 to 3 hours to complete and factors in everything about your child, including personality and learning style.
What we're able to do is to build a program based on the diagnostic assessment. So what we're trying to do is really target the areas of need. We're really spending the time focusing on the knowledge that's going to get a student successful in a classroom.
We came down, we went through the assessment, and they pinpointed his areas of weakness, and that's what they're building on. He's getting the help in the specific areas that he needs.
There's no other child exactly like yours, which is why at Sylvan we develop a personalized learning program to achieve measurable results. How do we do it? First, we take the results of your child's Sylvan Skills Assessment and develop learning objectives to reach the goals you and your child desire. Using these learning objectives, we develop an individual learning plan to fit your child's specific needs and learning style.
We have a program department at a national level that produces just the right program for each of your children. And then the programs are modified for each child based on the skill gaps they have and the needs they have. Our teachers have a range of materials they can use so that if your child is an auditory learner or if they're a visual learner, we can pick just the right materials to help your child succeed at Sylvan.
It's a program that's not just personalized, it's personal. At school, your child may be one of up to 30 children. At Sylvan, he or she receives personal attention from teachers who are certified and/or meet local teaching requirements. In this learning environment, your child is motivated, challenged, and inspired. To keep parents informed and involved in their child's progress, we schedule a conference after every 12 hours of instruction.
Sylvan is a team approach between the parents, Sylvan Learning Center, and the children's teachers.
Sylvan does carry over into the classroom. Kids come in, they're much more willing to take part, they're much more self-assured, their grades have gone up, and even besides grades, you see it in the kids. Just the fact that they're ready and willing to get in there and really participate.
Kids that are doing well in school, kids that are not doing well in school, kids that are just average. We help everybody.
I like the teachers here because they're always telling me that I'm doing a good job.
I came to Sylvan to improve my SAT scores.
The speed reading program helped me to read faster, but also to retain information better, and that would be a great help when I'm in college.
Here, your child will learn more than reading, math, or writing. He or she will learn how to learn. With Skill Mastery, a renowned teaching methodology, information is retained long after it is learned. National studies have proven that maximum retention comes from positive reinforcement, frequent testing, and continual feedback. This process is built into Sylvan's educational approach. Skill Mastery builds confidence and motivation, creating the foundation for long-term success.
With Mastery Learning, we're looking for a student to earn at least 100% 2 times in a row or 80% 5 times in a row before we move them forward to the next skill. That way we're sure that they're getting enough practice to be retaining this skill over time.
University research has shown that the Mastery Learning technique is one of the most effective methods of helping your child learn.
You can't understand why they're not getting it, and you just assume that they're clowning around and fooling around and that they're not really trying. But they are really trying, and they just need that extra help, and a lot of times a parent can't give it to them because you're too close.
My grandson before Sylvan was terrified of math. He had a real phobia about math. And since he has been coming to Sylvan, his ability to do the math is much better. He's not fearful of it anymore. And my grandson's confidence has been built up tremendously. Well, now he will tackle the math when previously he would run from it.
We make it fun.
At Sylvan, we know children learn best in programs they enjoy. Most Sylvan students spend 2 to 4 hours each week at the center. And from the smiles on their faces, you can really tell they look forward to each session.
Child thing is,
One of the reasons Sylvan is fun for students is that they are recognized for effort, not just correct answers. Our unique reward system keeps them interested and motivated to learn.
The teachers are nice, it's fun learning, and they make it fun. They make it fun for you.
Both of my children have enjoyed coming to Sylvan. They enjoy the program, they love the store, they bring me little treats.
This is the Sylvan store. No money changes hands here. The currency is learning. Students earn tokens for doing something right, even if that means just trying. They can trade these tokens for toys, books, sports equipment, games, whatever they want, whatever they've earned.
He loved the tokens. He liked earning tokens. The reward system really helps their self-esteem.
I'm saving up for a skateboard.
Within 36 hours of instruction, your child will jump a full grade level in his or her math or reading skills, or will provide 12 additional hours at no further cost to you.
I actually got an A. I feel good about myself. I'm proud about myself.
Joshua is now a lot more confident, a lot more outgoing. I think he just feels better about himself, and it's helped in other areas of school as well.
They go right to the books, they study. That's what I wanted. That's all I wanted them to do, was to build their own confidence, their own learning skills, their own initiative, and that's all I'm interested in. If they do that, they'll be successful, I feel, in life. So I think it's well worth the money. I think that you're thinking about the future for your children.
Sorry, this
money
tape
shouldn't
started
be the
out
issue.
quiet.
For me, it's
so
been a stress
volume,
reliever.
But it's been getting gradually louder.
An easier
so
home
I'm
life
gradually cranking it back
without
down.
the battles with homework. Daniel was doing so well that we actually enrolled my daughter in Sylvan, who is 2 years older, who was not doing poorly in school.
I accidentally
My son
typed
finished
30
up
instead
school
of
the year
3.
before. He was a little bit behind on his algebra, and he was
Sorry.
concerned about what he was going to face in
Sorry.
the fall. So he really wanted to get ahead this summer. And one of the ways
Sorry.
that he saw to get ahead was to go to a Sylvan Center. And he's really glad he did. He started off school and he was at the top of his class right away.
I'm very thankful to Sylvan. I can't, I don't know, I can't put it in
I'm so
words
sorry.
how
When I-
thrilled I am at what Sylvan has done for my children.
It's a stupid little
I couldn't have gotten this help anywhere
thing.
else.
It's like a little input box where you type in 3, but then it automatically changes it to 3.00 dB.
Education professional who will begin
And so
discussing
if
your
at any
child's
point while you're
unique
entering a
needs.
number, it's an invalid value for it to
Sylvan
be
offers a
translated
wide range
into
of courses for
decibels, then
students
it
of all ages and
reverts to
skill
0,
levels.
but then puts the
One
cursor
is
back at
just
the
right for
beginning.
your child.
So it changed it to 0, and then I typed the 3 that I was trying to type, and it made it 30. And
Don't
then I
put it
realized
off
what I
any
did.
longer. Success in school has never been more important than it is today. Call now and start giving your child the skills he or she needs to succeed in school and in life. Your son or daughter could be our next success story.
The Angelic Choir of Sylvan Learning Center. All right. Well, sorry about blowing out your eardrums and or reminding you of childhood. But that was Sylvan Learning Center. Success is learned. Do y'all want to do Fast Movin' Train? We'll just, we can just see if this gets entirely blocked. I'm willing to take a risk on this because I love me some 1990 country music videos. It was unkind, but I did rewind it before we started here. So let's check this out. I've never really listened. I've never heard of Restless Heart. They were a country group. Let's see. An American country music band from Nashville. They were active from 84 to 95, and then again from 98 to 2000. Then again briefly in 1998, and then from 2001 to 2021, and their lineup has changed. But this is Fast Movin' Train. It was originally sold for $9.98. Really a much better deal than all those other tapes that were $9.99. And I have reset the volume boost back to 0. I promise never to crank it up to 30 ever again. It's a very serious warning. Oh yeah, it's BMG. We've seen this intro before. An RCA Records label production. I don't understand the country music, the pop country fade out. It's like they have the pianist like just start playing something cool and immediately fade out. It's just the suggestion of a cool solo. The Bluest Eyes in Texas, A Tender Lie, Dancy's Dream. What was your favorite, everybody? I really liked Dancy's Dream. It took me places. Why Does It Have to Be Wrong or Right was probably my favorite song musically. Oh my God, they have Alabama and the Judds and Don Williams and Keith Whitley in the same VHS collection. Ronnie Millsap. Kenny Rogers. Oh, baby. Thank you all for going on a little journey with me back to 1990 and discovering Restless Heart. I really enjoyed that. Now, I think it's time that we finally finish our NASA box set and learn about the Challenger disaster. Yeah, they did have a color photo. Some of the videos were in color. So this is going to be an hour. Our final NASA film, Challenger Disaster and Investigation. If you weren't there in 1984, something bad happened. We lost the crew of a shuttle mission when the shuttle exploded. Was it 86? Okay. My bad. This was the flight that exposed the real dangers of space exploration. Millions of people watched in disbelief as the Space Shuttle Challenger flight S1L exploded. This tape was prepared by the S1L Data and Design Analysis Task Force and documents the task force activities and findings. It provides concise technical explanation of the cause of the Challenger accident. This looks interesting. Like, I don't know. The description kind of makes it sound like this is for, like, NASA consumption or lawmaker consumption or something. It's like summarizing the work of the task force and not necessarily like a concise documentary for the public. So we'll see what we get here. Here we go. NASA, 25 years, Challenger disaster and investigation. This will complete the box set sent in by Cosmic Searle. Video, and then They have a knockoff NASA logo with where they just rip off the THX sound. Space Cube. I know Richard Feynman was like part of the
Flight, Spartan
investigation.
Experiment. And here comes the flight crew now. Commander Dick Scobie, followed by Mission Specialist G. Restless, Ron McNair, and pilot Mike Smith, followed by Krista McCullough, Feature in Space, Ellison Onizuka, and Payload Specialist Greg Jarvis. Big smiles today. Confidently getting into the van. They're going to go up to that pad and attempt a second try. Second try at launch today.
Yeah, Ellison Onizuka was the first.
It'll take a few minutes for the astronaut van.
The first Asian American
get to the pad.
astronaut to be selected for a flight mission.
The orbiter and the first crew member, Commander Dick Scobie, now in the White Room, taking off his jacket, along with Mike Smith, who is the pilot.
If you've ever, Richard Feynman is a really fascinating
Scobie,
character. He has
became a military pilot,
sort of a
later
memoir.
a
It's like
test
just it's a
pilot
collection of
the
stories
hard
from his
way.
life called "Surely You're Joking,
He
Mr.
enlisted
Feynman."
in the Air
It's a
Force
really
in
good book.
1957 and was trained as a reciprocating engine mechanic. However, he
Yeah, I
went
think
to
they
night
I think
school
they just
during
ripped
the
that
time
off.
He was
I think
down
that is literally the THX sound that they just stole and used in
at
this tape.
Kelly Air Force Base and earned 2 years of college credit, which helped lead to his selection as for the Airman's Education and Commissioning Program. He graduated from the University of Arizona with a degree in aerospace engineering, received his commission in 1965 and his wings in 1966. He's completed a number of assignments for the Air Force, including becoming an Air Force test pilot. He was the pilot of the 41C mission, which deployed the long-duration exposure facility, which is still in orbit, and captured and repaired the Solar Maximum mission satellite and placed it in orbit where it is functioning better than ever. Mike Smith putting on his egress harness, too. They're going to be going very fast today to get out of the cold and into the cabin. Mike Smith is one of the few rookies on board this flight. He's a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis and received his Naval Aviator wings in 1969. He had a 2-year tour of duty in Vietnam and is a graduate of the Navy Test Pilot School, where he also served as an instructor for 18 months. Altogether, he's flown about 28 different types of civilian and military aircraft, logging over 4300
Yeah, this is very
hours.
haunting. I've said it with most of these NASA
taken
tapes,
on a number
just
of
how much I
tasks while
appreciate
he's
that they
been in
let
the
the footage
astronaut
speak for
corps.
itself.
He served as commander in the
Like,
Shuttle Avionics Integration Laboratory
This is
in
incredibly
Houston, which tests all
dramatic
of the
right here.
instrumentation and computers
Just showing
and
this
software
footage
for
and
the
letting it
shuttle.
play.
He also was deputy chief of aircraft
Without
operations,
having like
and technical
spooky
assistant to
History
the
Channel
director of
narrator
flight
on top of it,
operations, George Abbey.
and like
He also
tense
served
music.
in the astronaut office development and test group. After the scrub yesterday, the crew went back to the crew quarters where they relaxed for a while and were able to have dinner with their spouses in the crew quarters dining room. But they had to be in bed by about 7 o'clock so they could be up and on their way this morning. Mike Smith shaking hands with the closeout crew, which has assisted him in getting ready. They take a look at his feet and wipe those out to make sure he's not carrying any debris into the cabin with him. This is shuttle launch control at 1 hour, 58 minutes, 57 seconds and counting. And Dr. Judy Resnick, who was mission specialist for the ST-41D mission on her first flight, is in the White Room now preparing to put on her egress harness
Krista
and get
McAuliffe
ready for her entrance
was the teacher
into the orbiter.
who was on
On
this
her
mission.
first flight, 3 satellites were deployed, and she was responsible for operating the remote manipulator arm on that particular flight. She's also responsible for operating the arm for placing the Spartan Halley spacecraft in orbit and then recovering it later in flight. That will be put in orbit over the side on the second day. The orbiter will move about 5 miles away and allow it to function and look at Halley's comet for 40 hours and then go back and pick it up and bring it back to Earth. Her undergraduate degree was from Carnegie Mellon University, and she earned her PhD in electrical engineering from the University of Maryland. Prior to joining NASA in 1978 as a mission specialist, Judy Resnick worked as a senior systems engineer in product development for the Xerox Corporation in California. She's a native of Akron, Ohio, and also a classical pianist, and enjoys flying and bicycling in her spare time. Ellison Onizuka, also in the White Room. Actually, everybody's going to be in there shortly as they get ready. The teacher observer, Krista McAuliffe, has been handed an apple by the closeout crew. Ellison Onizuka now getting his egress harness on. The native of Hawaii is a graduate of Konawaina High School and earned both a Bachelor and Master of Science degree in aerospace engineering from the University of Colorado. After receiving his commission in the Air Force, he served as a flight test engineer and participated in the flight programs and system safety engineering for a wide variety of aircraft. He graduated from the Air Force Test Pilot School and then served on the staff. Onizuka is one of the astronauts known as the Cape Crusaders, who were assigned to KSC for a period of time of several launches and work with the orbiter.
97 is the date of this compilation box set. So this would have been, I assume, pretty shortly after the disaster and investigation that this
Billy
tape was
Bob
put
Carter
together.
is also one of the Cape Crusaders at the present time.
I would guess that this tape is from 86 or 87. The documentary itself, I mean.
Go ahead, LPS. Go ahead, LPS. Go ahead, TLS. U.S. functional initialization is complete. That's step 405. 405, copy. Go ahead, TVSA.
Roger. Looking on map perform 0535 and 0536.
Copy that, thank you. Good morning. OVCCOTC. Go ahead. Okay, apparently one of the crew left their gloves in the Astrovan.
Between the orbiter, the firing room here at Kennedy Space Center, and Houston. Rocket booster engine gimbal now underway. T-minus 15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. We have main engine start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and liftoff. Liftoff of the 25th Space Shuttle mission, and it has cleared the tower.
Now control.
Roger, roll, Challenger.
Good roll program confirmed. Challenger now heading down range. Engines beginning throttling down now at 94%. Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%. We'll throttle down to 65% shortly. Engines at 65%, 3 engines running normally, 3 good fuel cells, 3 good APUs. Velocity 2,257 feet per second. Altitude 4.3 nautical miles, downrange distance 3 nautical miles. Engines throttling up, 3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Challenger, go at throttle up. 1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles. Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction. We have no downlink.
Chills.
We have a report from the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. Flight director confirms that. We are looking at checking with the recovery forces to see what can be done at this point. Contingency procedures are in effect. We will report more as we have information available. Again, to repeat, we have a report relayed through the flight dynamics officer that the vehicle has exploded. We are now looking at all the contingency operations and awaiting word from any recovery forces in the downrange field.
Yeah, you can hear his voice shaking. I don't think there's any more effective way of conveying what the historic drama and tragedy and humanity of this moment than just portraying it like this. And just letting us see it entirely unaltered. The following videotape is a history of a January 1986 51L Space Shuttle mission. This tape was prepared by the photo and TV support team of the 51L Data and Design Analysis Task Force and documents the task force activities and findings. The 31-minute tape provides a concise technical explanation of the cause of a Challenger accident. This tape, which provides no new information, is a compilation of previously released video.
Flight of the Space Shuttle Challenger on Mission 51L, the 25th flight of the Space Shuttle program, began at 11:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on January 28, 1986. It ended 73 seconds later in a structural breakup of the external tank and orbiter, in which the 7 crew members perished. The solid rocket boosters continued in flight and were destroyed by the range safety officer 110 seconds after launch. The delivery and assembly of 51L launch vehicle components began months prior to launch. The solid rocket booster segments were transported by rail to the Kennedy Space Center. The SRBs were inspected and partially assembled at the rotation, processing, and storage facility. The segments were then moved to the Vehicle Assembly Building, or VAB, where they were stacked on the mobile launch platform. The external tank arrived at KSC by barge and was moved into the VAB, where it was checked out and mated to the stacked solid rocket boosters. After orbiter checkout, Challenger was rolled into the VAB and mated with the assembled external tank and SRBs. The STS-51L vehicle was transported from the VAB to the launch pad on December 22, 1985. At a crawler speed of approximately 1 mile per hour, the journey takes about 6 hours. The launch was rescheduled several times, resulting in the final countdown on January 28, 1986. The weather was forecast to be clear and cold, with temperatures dropping into the low 20s overnight. The fueling of the external tank began at 1:25 a.m. Ice had accumulated on the launch pad during the night. Several water systems were opened slightly and allowed to flow into drains. The drains froze and caused overflows. High wind gusts spread the water over large areas and ice formed. The air temperature at launch was 36 degrees Fahrenheit. This was 15 degrees colder than any previous launch. At T-minus 7 minutes and 30 seconds, the ground launch sequencer began retracting the crew access arm. The arm can be put back in place within 15 to 20 seconds if an emergency arises and the crew must evacuate the pad. At T-minus 3 minutes and 15 seconds, gimbal checks of the orbiter main engines were performed. All 3 engines move in a pre-programmed pattern to verify ascent flight control. The gimbal sequence ends with the engines in their start positions. At T-minus 2 minutes and 55 seconds, external tank liquid oxygen pressurization began and main engine purging was completed. At T-minus 2 minutes and 50 seconds, retraction of the gaseous oxygen vent hood began. The ground launch sequencer verified its full retraction at T-minus 37 seconds. Sound suppression water was started at T-minus 16 seconds. At T-minus 8 seconds, hydrogen igniters were turned on to burn off any free hydrogen. 6.6 seconds before launch, Challenger's liquid-fueled main engines were ignited in sequence and run up to full thrust. Thrust from the main engines bends the shuttle stack. When it returned to vertical, the solid rocket boosters ignited. At T0, the hold-down bolts were explosively released. After the initial pre-release twang motion, structural forces on the assembly are dissipated through vibration at a rate of 3 cycles per second during the first few seconds of flight. Roll maneuver was initiated at 7.724 seconds. The maneuver was completed at 21.124 seconds.
Normal throttles for most of the flight, 104%. We'll throttle down to 65.
The main engines were throttled back to 65% at 35.379 seconds for about 16 seconds in order to alleviate loads during maximum dynamic pressure.
Velocity 2,257 feet.
Yeah, I mean, it's fascinating to see
4.3 nautical miles.
a very primary
The engines
source.
were then throttled up to 104% at 51.919 seconds.
3 engines now at 104%.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
During the flight, telemetry data gave no indication of problems.
1 minute 15 seconds. Velocity 2,900 feet per second. Altitude 9 nautical miles. Downrange distance 7 nautical miles.
The solid rocket boosters continued in flight and were destroyed by the range safety officer 110 seconds after launch. Data from nearly 200 cameras were analyzed during the investigation. The following sequence of events is based on the evaluation of film, video, and telemetry data. This graphic indicates viewing angles for 3 cameras in the vicinity of the launch site. The first view shown is from camera E63 at the lower right of the chart. At 0.678 seconds into the flight, a strong puff of gray smoke can be seen spurting from the vicinity of the aft field joint on the right solid rocket booster. The vaporized material streaming from the joint indicates there was not complete sealing action within the joint. This second view is from camera E60. The smoke can be seen between the right SRB and the external tank, and initially moves in the upward direction. The angle between this view and E63 is approximately 100 degrees. With E60 and E63 side by side, it is clear that when smoke is first visible to camera E60, it is not yet visible to E63. 0.2 seconds later, it becomes visible to E63 and is seen in multiple lobes, or puffs, reaching maximum visibility at about 1.9 seconds. A third, higher-resolution camera, D67, was located east of the launch pad. D67 recorded this view of the smoke at approximately the same time of maximum development. Smoke appears to the right side of the SRB only, while normal water condensation vapors appear to the left. This plan shows that none of the cameras directly view the surface of the right SRB in the shaded region of the graphic. Analysis of film from several pad cameras indicated that the smoke came from between 270 and 310 degrees on the circumference of the aft field joint. As indicated on these pre-flight photos, the smoke emerged from just above the strut, between the SRB and ET, at a point along the longitudinal axis near the aft field joint. The multiple smoke puffs occurred at a rate of about 4 times per second, approximating the frequency of the structural load dynamics and resultant joint flexing. This greatly exaggerated computer animation depicts the flexing of the SRB joint. This flexing increased the gap between the tang and clevis at the location of 2 rubber O-ring seals. Last evidence of smoke above the aft attach ring appears at 2.733 seconds. The last indication of smoke dispersing below the aft dome appears at 3.375 seconds. Film records of the assembly of the solid rocket booster were reviewed to determine any evidence of cause for the smoke. Photographs taken just prior to mating of the booster segments at the aft field joint show the O-rings installed in the grease clevis
These
grooves.
critical processes are all
A subtle
filmed
variation
for
was
posterity.
detected, but through computer enhancement was determined to be a shadow caused by irregularities in the grease. No evidence of O-ring defects was observed in any of the stacking photography. The facility gaseous hydrogen vent arm was not captured after retraction at launch. Film analysis, however, showed that it did not rebound and contact the vehicle or contribute to the accident. Post-launch inspection of the hold-down posts revealed that the kickspring assemblies on 4 of the posts were missing. Detailed analysis determined that the assemblies could not have become detached prior to T plus 850 milliseconds and were not a contributing factor to the smoke observed at liftoff. The next significant event was the development of the SRB burn-through plume. Camera E207, located about 6 miles north of the launch pad, shows the growth of this plume. The first evidence of flame appeared on the right solid rocket booster at 58.788 seconds. This occurred as the main engines had been throttled up to 104% thrust and the SRBs were increasing thrust.
I really appreciate
Camera
how
E203 was
precise
located
this
west of the
language
launch
is.
site and gives an aft view. The
true
exposure was
technical
set for the
writing.
booster nozzle plumes. This graphic illustrates the location of the flare. The flare was located near the aft field joint, approximately 300 degrees circumferentially, which is consistent with the location of the smoke emissions at liftoff. Within half a second, the flame had grown into a continuous and well-defined plume. At about the same time, telemetry showed a divergence in chamber pressures between the right and left SRBs. Pressure in the right SRB chamber was lower as a result of the growing leak. The plume is seen here impinging directly onto the surface of the external tank and the lower aft strut at 60.248 seconds. At about 62 seconds, the control system elements began to respond to the forces caused by the plume. As recorded on E207 and E204, the first visual indication that the anomalous plume penetrated the external tank was seen at 64.66 seconds as an abrupt change in the shape and color of the plume. This is an indication of hydrogen leaking from the external tank. At 64.705 seconds, a bright sustained glow developed between the orbiter and the external tank. Slight changes in the hydrogen tank pressure telemetry data confirmed the leak 2.2 seconds later at 66.8 seconds, when the LH2 tank pressurization system could no longer maintain its normal repressurization rate. At 72.6 seconds, the LH2 tank pressure could no longer be maintained, indicating that the leak path had significantly increased and was growing rapidly.
The pre-shuttle missions all had launch abort systems, which were big towers that could jettison
right SRB motion diverged from the orbiter and left
spacecraft
SRB,
off of the rocket,
indicating that the lower ET SRB strut was severed or pulled loose.
The shuttle was a much more complicated design.
During this time frame, exaggerated steering commands and control system responses registered in telemetry data. At approximately 73 seconds, both liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen pressure to the main engines showed a significant drop. This was followed at 73.124 seconds by the appearance of a circumferential white pattern around the ET aft region, suggesting LH-2 tank structural failure. 13 milliseconds later, at 73.137 seconds, vapor was observed at the inner tank, indicative of the liquid oxygen tank failing. This can be attributed to abnormal loads induced by either the right SRB rotation at the forward attach point or the propulsive forces created by the LH-2 tank aft bulkhead failure, probably both. Within milliseconds, liquid oxygen was observed streaming along the external tank. At 73.191 seconds, a flash was observed between the ET and orbiter that was immediately followed by the start of total vehicle breakup at 73.213 seconds. During the next 100 milliseconds, additional flashes occur in the SRB forward attach area. As the ET broke up, the released fluids vaporized rapidly, producing an expanding cloud of gases, vapors, and cryogenic fluid with embedded debris and localized combustion of mixed gases. No shock wave or other evidence of a violent explosion was detected in the imagery. Illumination from a combination of SRB plume radiance, reflected sunlight, and peripheral burning of gases gives the cloud the appearance of a fireball. By 73.6 seconds, the main engines were in automatic shutdown mode as a result of reduced propellant pressures. The last telemetry from Challenger was received 73.618 seconds after launch. The actual vehicle breakup was essentially obscured from view by the vapor cloud which abruptly enveloped the vehicle. Hundreds of fragments were noted exiting the ET cloud. Those identified included the shuttle main engines, the left wing, crew cabin, and both SRBs. Approximately 1 second after initial breakup, film showed the front segment of the orbiter emerging from the cloud. The nose, crew cabin, and a portion of the cargo bay make up the orbiter in this view. Nitrogen tetroxide oxidizer from the forward reaction control system provided a distinctive orange-brown color to the cloud. By 74.578 seconds, a yellow cloud or flash was visible near the orbiter nose segment. This is believed to be caused by burning monomethyl hydrazine from the forward RCS. The flash reaction from the RCS propellants abated, revealing separation of the nose section from the crew cabin. Less than a quarter of a second later, the crew cabin was noted to be severed from the cargo bay. Igniting of propellant discharge continued to be observed from the forward RCS. A camera south of the launch pad recorded a wider array of debris exiting the vapor cloud. The initial emergence of the crew cabin from this perspective was at 75.237 seconds. The initial path of the crew cabin from the vapor cloud carried it across the path of an adjacent contrail, clearly revealing its truncated form and attitude. The left wing became visible at 78.531 seconds. The main engines and crew cabin are also identifiable. After 10 seconds, the crew cabin was seen again with the front end and top of the cabin visible. As the subject moved further away and dropped lower on the horizon, the quality of the image for visual analysis deteriorated rapidly.
Dr. Joseph Kerwin, who is also an astronaut who investigated the cause of death, he
Long-range
speculated that they
tracking cameras followed the SRBs through range safety destruct.
probably survived the explosion
At
and
approximately
had 6 to 15
75.8
seconds
seconds, the
of
right SRB was seen
consciousness
exiting the cloud. Camera
as they
E207
plummeted
shows
toward
the
the
right
ocean.
SRB after the breakup, and the joints are clearly visible except for the aft field joint. This confirmed the location of the plume along the longitudinal axis of the SRB. The separated nose cap and deployed drogue parachute are identified at approximately 76.4 seconds. The shock wave from the detonation of the linear-shaped charge on the right SRB can be seen clearly. Simultaneously, the left SRB was destroyed.
We're going to watch something cuddly after this.
At approximately
maybe the
37
Velveteen
seconds,
Rabbit.
Challenger had encountered the first of several expected
Narrated by
high-altitude
Meryl
wind
Streep.
shear conditions, which lasted until about 64 seconds. These wind shears are best illustrated by the effect on the booster exhaust trails. The effect of wind shear was immediately sensed and countered by the guidance, navigation, and control system. Wind reconstructions were aided by comparing predicted exhaust trail shapes with acquired photography. The reconstructed winds were used in trajectory and flight loads analyses, which verified that the loads were within limits. Several flashes in the SSME plumes were observed during the flight. As similar flashes have been seen on several previous flights, they are considered not to have contributed to the accident. The visible condensation that appears in this frame is created by shock waves which develop as the vehicle passes through the speed of sound. A large-scale search effort was initiated to recover the space shuttle debris. 22 ships, 6 underwater search vessels, and 33 aircraft participated in the operation. The pieces recovered initially were those found floating on the surface. The submarine fleet was used to locate and inspect underwater debris. Objects identified as being important to the investigation were retrieved. "50% of the entire vehicle was recovered in the effort. The ocean search area was located at the edge of the Gulf Stream at depths up to 1,200 feet. Approximately 93,000 square miles of ocean were searched. The recovered hardware was brought to the logistics facility, where reconstruction efforts helped to verify the investigation team's findings, as well as to analyze the structural breakup mechanics of the orbiter, ET, and SRBs. Inside the logistics facility, parts were arranged on the floor according to their location on the vehicle. 45% of the orbiter itself was recovered. The debris confirmed that the orbiter and its payloads did not contribute to the cause of the accident and that the orbiter breakup was a result of aerodynamic effects rather than explosive effects. Shown here are parts of the orbiter forward fuselage structure, which surrounds the crew cabin. Extensive heating and erosion was detected on the right aft section of the orbiter. The paint was scorched and blackened on the right side of the aft fuselage. Thermal distress was apparent on the right rudder speed brake, while the left showed little effect. Thermal effects were also seen on the elevon. The aft left side of the orbiter showed no apparent sign of heat damage. The remaining recovered parts of the orbiter showed no evidence of fire or explosion from within the vehicle. All three main engines were recovered and helped to verify that they did not contribute to the cause of the accident. The external tank was similarly reconstructed. 25% of the liquid hydrogen tank, 80% of the inner tank, and 5% of the liquid oxygen tank was recovered. Most of the external hardware was also recovered. The nose cap sustained very little damage. In general, the recovered pieces were quite large. The spray-on foam insulation exhibited varying degrees of thermal effects from extreme charring to practically no effect. The external tank range safety destruct explosive charges housed in this cable tray were recovered undetonated, eliminating them as a possible factor in external tank breakup. The intertank region showed signs of buckling in the fore and aft direction. This would be consistent with the impulsive thrust that resulted from the sudden loss of liquid hydrogen from the aft section of the tank. This shearing failure of the forward attachment fitting with the right SRB was caused by the booster's rotation after the aft strut area failed. The stiffener stringers on the right-hand side of the inner tank show evidence of contact which match marks on the forward assembly of the right SRB. A section of the ring frame and a section of the aft dome from the lower strut attachment area was recovered in one piece. The lower strut attachment fitting had been pulled away. The effects of the anomalous SRB plume can be seen on the external tank, excluding an area which was shielded by the strut and attachment fitting. Approximately 50% of solid rocket booster hardware was recovered. An ordnance storage facility was used to house the motor case pieces, as some contained unburned propellant. Marks seen on the right SRB frustrum match the contact area shown previously on the ET intertank stringers. The size and location of the burn-through as indicated by the recovered SRB debris were illustrated on an assembled booster. The aft center section of the joint shows a large hole centered at the 307-degree circumferential position. The irregular hole is roughly rectangular and is about 27 by 15 inches. The steel case material showed evidence of hot gas erosion caused by combustion products flowing through the opening. The aft section of the right SRB showed a hole approximately 33 by 21 inches. The burned surface extended into the aft attached strut region. The exterior surface of the aft case featured a large heat-affected area. The shape and location of this heat spot indicates an impingement from the escaping gases. There was a small burn-through in the case wall which appeared to have penetrated from the outside in. This was due to the impingement of hot gases from the anomalous plume. The hole in the solid rocket booster segments was the result of the joint leakage on the right-hand SRB, which was determined to be the cause of the accident. The Presidential Commission concluded that the cause of the Challenger accident was the failure of the pressure seal in the aft field joint of the right solid rocket motor. The failure was due to a faulty design, rendering the seal unacceptably sensitive to a number of factors. Those factors include the effects of temperature, physical dimensions, the character of materials, the effects of reuse and processing, and the reaction of the joint to dynamic loading. More detailed analyses are contained in Volume 3 of the report of the Presidential Commission on the Space Shuttle Challenger accident.
Yeah, this was from the people like the film and TV camera people whose job was to gather as much information as they could from all the footage. Man, what a way to end this box set. I am of the opinion myself that space exploration is really cool, and the word epic is overused, but it's an epic human endeavor. But also that the space shuttle program was kind of stupid. This was really fascinating to see. And before we move on, I just want to read the names of Valentin Bondarenko, who died. He was a Soviet cosmonaut who died during a training exercise in a 100% oxygen environment, which, as it turned out, was very prone to combustion and uncontrollable fire. Shortly thereafter, during the testing for the Apollo 1 mission, we lost astronauts Virgil Gus Grissom, Ed White, and Roger Chaffee, whose spacecraft that they were testing in had a full 100% oxygen environment and experienced a fire that made it impossible for them to escape and quickly killed them. Had there been better, international cooperation, perhaps one of those accidents could have prevented the other, but the Soviets suppressed any information about the death of Bondarenko because it was all of this was happening as part of an international geopolitical dick measuring contest. In Soyuz 1, cosmonaut Vladimir Komarov died after his parachute failed to deploy and his spacecraft struck the ground. Soyuz 11, Georgy Dobrovolsky, Viktor Patsayev, and Vladislav Volkov died in space due to a problem with the atmosphere in their cabin failing during a disconnection with another spacecraft they were docked with. As we just saw, the Challenger disaster cost the lives of Gregory Jarvis, Krista McAuliffe, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Judith Resnick, Michael Smith, and Dick Scobie. And a couple of decades later, the Columbia shuttle was destroyed on re-entry, costing the lives of Rick Husband, William McCool, Michael Anderson, David Brown, Kalpana Chawla, Laurel Clark, and Ilan Ramon. So before the cool tape music goes back on and we continue, just a moment of silence. Ad astra per aspera, through hardships to the stars. Rest in peace to all the astronauts who've inspired us over the years. Whew. Well, that's done it for this NASA box set. Again, sent in by Cosmic Searle. It's been a lot of streams that we've been going through this one, and I've really appreciated. My least favorite was definitely the one on the shuttle with all the Reagan speeches, but just seeing contemporary accounts from NASA firsthand of what these missions were like, the triumphs and the failures. It was really, really something. And just the documentary style of all of them I really enjoyed. Yeah, I tried to make that a more or less complete list of everyone who's died during a mission. But there have been other astronauts and cosmonauts who died in, when their aircraft that they were using to get from place to place crashed and those sorts of things. And I might have missed a few prominent names. Yeah, that, I mean, that... I don't want to speak too highly of Reagan, but some of his speeches were okay. Okay, let's move on. I think we need something to pick us up a little bit that we can end with. Let's see. I thought Velveteen Rabbit. What else we got? Sports Blooper Awards, feature films for families, Animal Antics, Tony Little, Great Indian Wars. Nope, not today. Skate Like a Pro, Signing Made Easy, Courageous Cat. Oh, yeah, Crocodile. Crocodile Hunter, Africa's Deadliest Snakes. I want to tell you what. I think I'm going to do Velveteen Rabbit. Mainly because the time. Snakes are definitely not cuddly. I think the timing works out for this one. It being a 25-minute tape, and it looks very cute, and it's narrated by Meryl Streep. And it may be VOD unfriendly. I'm not sure, but there's already a chance I'm going to have to edit stuff out of this tape. So I may as well pick this one. Oh, it has sad. I don't know anything about this story, actually. Shit. Is that a veto? Does anyone veto this? Tell you what, let's find something like really just universally positive and good. That's going to be hard. Hip hop for kids. Noozles again. Okay, we have let's see. Superman actually, this one died. The VCR ate this one. It's still on the list because I didn't technically screen it. Okay, so we have the other Noozles. We're here. I'm getting some no's on the Noozles. We have Robin Hood lounging like a boss. My vote is for Hip Hop for Kids, to be honest. Hip Hop for Kids. What else we got? Knock Off Cinderella. Where are we going with that? Where is that? Knock Off Cinderella. Okay, I'm gonna make a poll between the two that I have chosen. One moment. Crap, what did we say was the other one? Oh yeah, Hip Hop for Kids. This will be a 1-minute poll. Vote for your favorite. Go. Hip Hop for Kids is a 30-minute video introducing kids to hip-hop dance. Our host, Roger G., leads our kid dancers through a fun hip-hop workout. Or we have Cinderella, a charming children's classic. From AIC Home Video of Van Nuys, 1991. I did say children, yes. It looks like Hip Hop for Kids is in the lead here. I love blow-up doll Cinderella. I especially love the little guy just standing on the bridge. His little stick figure, Prince Charming. All right. Well, then I'm going to go grab Cinderella off the shelf. It's going to be near the noozles. Be right back. I could just, we could just watch Cat TV again, but we've seen that pretty recently. Oh no, this isn't rewound. Oh my god, look at this. So, you pull out the tape, no label, and it just says Cinderella handwritten on a piece of masking tape. All right, let's rewind this. Oh, you're right. Well, we'll rewind Cinderella while we're here. Let me go get hip hop. My bad. Hip hop is toward the end, right? No, yeah, toward the end. By Leaping Lizards. I'll go grab. Do you want to do both? I guess we can just do both. All right, let's do both. Yeah, I hope so too, Bella. That is the wish that is in my heart with every tape that we watch. Cinderella is the charming children's classic where a young maiden named Cinderella is treated like a household slave by her stepsisters and stepmother. Cinderella is able to attend a palace ball with the help of her fairy godmother. It is there that she meets a prince who eventually marries her and saves her from a life of drudgery. Wow, spoilers. All right. And 30 minutes of Cinderella. Here we go. Enjoy. Oh.
Young and old, the sweetest story ever told. A coach for Cinderella.
This is A Coach for Cinderella. Oh, it's one of these where if I play it double speed, it tracks. Let me see if I can nudge the tracking enough. Oh, the tracking display doesn't even show up on screen. So I think the problem here, what's happening here is that the video capture device is not able to get a video signal from the VCR, which is why it's just showing blue. No, I can't see it. So like this is one of those cases where it might, if I were watching this like on an analog television, it might show up decently. Yeah, you get audio or video, one of the two. So we got gnomes. I'm the gnome. Kill Cinderella. Everyone, come with me.
Who helped you stand?
We can maybe just consider this foobar and move on to rap. I don't know if this is really an ideal viewing experience. I was going to see if the tape would behave. Oh, you have a better copy of this cartoon?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's called The Coach for Cinderella. You can look it up on IMDb. Maybe it exists. That was Cinderella from AIC Home Video. The quality of this tape is a little suspect. So, we did it. We got it off the shelf. Great. It's now time for Hip Hop for Kids. Sent in by our very own Green Day Rock. Thank you, Green Day. I'm excited for this one. I've been looking forward to this one for a while. A 30-minute dance video for kids featuring the latest hip-hop steps. There's some quotes. USA Today says, "It's easy to catch the groove in this totally cool tape. The irresistible beat makes it impossible to sit this one out." Right On says, "Learn how to do the butterfly, running man, and many more hot steps as seen in all your favorite videos." It's a 1995 Parents' Choice Award winner. Hip Hop for Kids. A 30-minute video introducing kids to hip-hop dance. Our host, Roger G., a featured dancer with Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder, and Lionel Richie, leads our kid dancers through a fun hip-hop workout. Learn the latest hip-hop steps from our kid hip-hoppers, Melissa, Adia, Shani, Antoine, and Chi-Chi. Stretch, dance, work out. It's all for fun. PPI Entertainment Group, a division of Peter Pan Industries, Newark, New Jersey. Produced by Liz Milby, Jumping Fish Productions, Broadway, New York, New York. All right. Oh, this one's also not rewound. I don't think we've been doing unkind predictions for a while, but here you go. We got an unkind one. Well, tell me this, Bella. Is this your favorite part of the stream where we're just sitting here waiting for a tape to rewind? Sorry, I had to text Joshy D just in the off chance that he wants to see a 90s hip hop tape. All right. Here we go. Please work. What do channel points do? Absolutely nothing. All right, hip hop for kids. Oh my God, this tracking is bad. This is some bad tracking. Oh, no, come on. This can't be. This can't be. Tracking. Welcome to Hip Hop for Kids. This tape was designed by two dance educators and offers a fun half-hour fitness program for kids. It may take several viewings for your child to master all the dances in our video. Children may want to start our program by doing only 1 or 2 sections at a time before participating in the entire program. We recommend that parents supervise children during the first few viewings. Make sure children clear an exercise space of any hazards such as furniture, rugs, and other objects. Supportive athletic shoes must be worn at all times. Your supervision will help your child have a fun hip-hop workout. All right.
Hi, my name is Roger G, and I would like to show you a fun hip-hop workout.
I'm pretty sure that the VCR is fine. Like, if I grab a test tape. Usually it's the tape. I mean, I could do a head cleaning tape real quick if we want to, but I don't know that it'll make a difference.
The threatened or endangered.
Yeah, see, this is totally fine.
Before we learn our lesson.
So, yeah, I think let's just see if we can get this to work. We can't have the Challenger explosion and seal tape in the same day.
Now we're going to do a carefully designed warm-up for you.
I'm so disappointed in
Different parts
the
of your
track.
body from head to toe. And remember, put on some supportive sneakers so that you...
Ah, man.
All right, let's rock the house, y'all. Hey!
I gotta figure this out. We can't have this. We need to see this. It's hip hop for kids. Damn it.
5, 6. And careful with the swing. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And shoulder. There you go. And double.
Man. Bugger. All right, well, let's pick something else, I guess. That's a real shame. That's a real shame. It's hip-hop for kids. Do we have Popeye? I guess we have Popeye. Let me find something. I could do an eyewitness. I don't know. Let's. I'm so sad. We could do Testament Joseph Diamond Entertainment Corporation. Sievert. Let's. Yeah, I'm feeling silly animal. What was it? Animal Antics are 50 minutes. Why are these all so long? We could just do baby animal songs with kid songs. That might make us too angry though. Man. We could do Mighty Machines in the City. It's been sitting on top of my shelf for some reason. Mighty Machines in the City. All right, that definitely has no plot, and will be a fun thing. Man, I'm so disappointed. I sent a photo of Hip Hop for Kids to Joshy D and interrupted his diner breakfast so that he could join us for it, and it didn't even work. All right. Mighty Machines in the City. I'm afraid I don't have time today to watch a musical. But I can do Mighty Machines. I can do a single Mighty Machines tape. We can look at Joseph next time. Are y'all ready now for Mighty Machines? Mighty Machines is indeed a musical. See, look at this perfect tracking. Look at that beautiful black screen. Oh. Welcome to my private home. Thank you. Mighty Machines. Big and mighty machines. Working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty Machines. Lifting and pulling and flying so high. Building a building right to the sky. You can look in the door and never know why they're Mighty Machines. Every time I try to sing along with this song, I do the voice, the gravelly voice, and it hurts.
There are stories to enjoy for every girl and boy. Mighty Machines, big and mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty Machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty Machines.
In the city. City. The broom. Oh, because it's a street sweeper. They dive and drive, flash and splash, tow and mow, tug and lug. These Mighty Machines are on the go, and they're taking you along. Get ready to roll with the Mighty Machines.
Welcome to the City Garage. I'm Little Mac.
Little Mac is our four-wheeled leader.
I'm going to show you how my friends and I keep the city clean.
We're going to meet Dusty, Gusher,
Vic.
Stretch, and Vacuum Vic.
To clean all the drains in the city. These are the Dump Truck Brothers. They take all the street garbage to the dump. Morning, fellas.
Morning, Little Mac. Morning, Little Mac. Morning.
Good morning.
It's
Hey,
Lil Mac.
Here comes my driver, Larry. And there's George. He drives Dusty, the street sweeper. Okay, everyone, let's get rolling. Dump trucks first.
Like a true gentleman.
Let's go, Dusty. We've got a busy day ahead of us. Tell you what, Dusty, why don't you go ahead? I'm going to take the kids on a little ride. Come on, let's go, boys and girls. The city is a big place. And it's my job to make sure that all of the streets and parks are kept clean.
Yeah, the last ones I think were in Canada somewhere.
There's Dusty. Let's see how she's doing.
Is that a Toronto bus? From whatever year this was?
leaves and trash and paper and cash, they left it all in the gutter. So along comes Dusty singing this song with a chuckle, a snort, and a mutter. Oh, doodly, doodly, doodly doo, I'm keeping the streets so clean.
Sorry, I love this song too much. It really is a musical, yeah. Let me get the lead up to it too. Sorry, it's too good. I love the doodly song.
There's leaves and trash and paper and cash, they left it all in the gutter. So along comes Dusty singing this song with a chuckle, a snort, and a mutter. Oh, doodly, doodly, doodly doo, I'm keeping the streets so clean. I'm scrubbing and scraping, I'm pavement landscaping, I'm buffing this place to a sheen. Now just to remember, January to December, I'm Dusty, the street sweeping gal. My brushes are metal, I'm in fine fettle with Mac, my big city pal. Oh, doodly, doodly, doodly doo, I'm keeping the streets so clean. I'm scrubbing and scraping, I'm pavement landscaping, I'm buffing this place to a sheen.
Amazing.
Well, Dusty, it looks like you're doing a great job. But the kids and I have to get going.
See you, Jace. Enjoy your weekend.
So long. See you later, everybody.
Oh, Dusty, what a gal. You know, kids, the city isn't just made of roads and buildings. There are also a lot of trees. It's our job to take care of them, too. Let's go over to the park and see what my friend Stretch is up to.
Hi, I'm Stretch. You've come at a great time, because I'm just about ready to take up one of the tree cutters. Before he goes up, he packs all his cutting tools into my basket. All right, climb aboard. Safety's really important, so the men always make sure they strap themselves in. Here we go.
Well, I'm going up a tree. I got a man in me.
Nice and slow. Oh, there's little Mac.
How are you, Stretch? Looks like you're real busy today.
You know me, Mac. Busy days are good days. Today, we're removing the dead branches from this tree. This will make the trees stronger.
I want the tree to be sentient too, and to scream as its arms are chopped off?
That's my partner, Chipper.
But no, only machines have souls in this universe.
He's got a fun job. Once the branches are cut, the men feed them to Chipper, who eats them up and spits them out in small pieces.
Spits them out.
Watch this.
Don't breathe this.
Now these chips aren't just thrown away. We use them later when we're planting new trees or doing other work around the park. Chipper and I make a great team. As you can see, there's lots of work for us to do today. So while we continue, why don't you go visit the other machines that work in the city? See ya!
Come on, kids. Let's go see Vacuum Vic. Underneath the roads, there's a big sewer system that drains the water from the streets when it rains. It's Vacuum Vic's job to vacuum out the leaves and dirt before they plug the drains. That big, long nose of his makes it easy for him to reach the bottom of the sewer.
Sorry, trunk.
Vacuum Vic
That's
is
fine.
like a big vacuum
Elephants
cleaner
also
on
have
wheels.
tusks. Ah, okay, that's pretty literal.
Whatever he finds, he puts into his drum and takes back to the yard at the end of the day. Great job, Vacuum Vic.
What is this
That's
music?
another
I love
sewer
it.
that won't
This
get
beatboxing. This is a lost track from the soundtrack to Doug.
Come on, kids. Let's go see Gusher.
Come on, kids, let's go see Gusher.
How are you, little Mac? So you brought the kids over to see how the big boy's doing,
Please,
huh?
help keep Toronto clean. Do not litter the streets.
I've been washing the streets all morning. But that's not a problem for me, because I've got a huge water tank. Sometimes I even give the cars a wash.
I've never seen this in my life. I think in most of the cities I've lived in, they had the smaller street sweepers that go across around the curbs, and they just have like a jet of water built into the little scrubby brush.
I make a big splash. Well, all finished here. It's time to turn my water off.
Super job, Gusher. I'm going to leave you so we can go see Stumper. Why don't you give the kids one last blast?
Love to. See you later.
Come on, let's go see Stumper. He's a tough little scrapper who loves nothing more than to chew up a big stump. He's got the teeth of a shark and the strength of an elephant. Okay, stand back.
Oh my God, stand back. I feel like this is, of all the Mighty Machines tapes we watched so far, I feel like this is the chillest.
This used to be a big tree, but unfortunately it got sick and we had to cut it down.
Oh no, poor tree.
And who wants to have a big stump on their front lawn?
We had to euthanize the tree.
That's when Stumper is needed.
I think the screams get progressively quieter the more the stump is ground away.
All finished. When Stumper's done, there's nothing left but a pile of wood chips. Stumper's not the biggest machine in the city, but boy, he sure works hard. Once everything is turned off and packed up, Stumper's all ready for his next job. In one day, Stumper can get rid of
Screamy
6
Stumpy.
stumps.
Oh my God, the one giant human hand.
Now, don't think we're going to leave all of these chips here. They all get pushed back into the hole.
They all get vacuumed up by our friend Sucker. Oh, we don't have a specialized truck for this part of the job?
I'll send one of the dump truck brothers over later to cover the hole with grass.
The dump truck brothers. Off-screen characters.
Great job, Stumper. Come on, kids. The day's almost over. Time to head back to the garage. This truck's working on the traffic lights.
We already
should
met
be along in a
Stroker.
minute.
Her name was Donna.
Do you recognize who this is, kids? It's Dusty. At the end of every day, she gets a bath.
Ah, that feels great. Ooh, oh, that's nice. Yeah, right behind my ears. Oh, I love being clean. Oh, that's terrific. I feel just shipshape now. And I look good, too. Oh, there goes all that dirt. Look at that, just coming down there. Oh, get up in the little cracks
Dusty's
up
voice
there.
actor is my favorite Mighty Machines performance ever.
All clean now.
She's having so much fun with it.
Well, now that I'm all finished for the day, let's watch Jaws do his job.
Is he an ice cream truck? An industrial ice cream truck? Oh, it's Jaws.
Jaws! I clean up all the garbage that Dusty and Vacuum Vic bring to the yard. It's a dirty job, but hey, somebody's got to do it. Oh, yeah. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, here we go. I got that trash now.
And here's one of the dump truck brothers, all ready to take up.
Oh, we get to meet at least one of the dump truck brothers. The back of the box only mentions Lil Mac, Dusty Gusher, Stretch, and Vacuum Vic.
Once he's full, he'll take the garbage to the dump.
But there was also like Stumpy and Jaws and the Dump Truck Brothers.
The dump truck brothers get on the road, they have to make sure that none of the garbage blows away. That's why the back has to be covered with a net.
Oh, that's so considerate.
While Jaws and the Dump Truck Brothers finish up their work, why don't we see what's going on in the garage? Looks like everybody's starting to come home. There's another one of the Dump Truck Brothers. In my garage, nobody goes to bed without a bath. Sometimes they put up a fuss, but most of them just love it. Oh, there's Ralph. He's ready for bed.
Ralph?
He always makes that beeping sound when he backs up, just to warn anyone who might be behind him to get out of the way.
Wait, is Ralph the name of one of the two dump truck brothers?
And there's Vacuum Vic. I know he's had a real hard day.
Vacuum Vic's going to be telling his wife about his hard day.
Everybody has their own
over
special
dinner.
place to sleep. It's been a long day for all of us, and I hope you've had a nice time. And remember, you can do your part by helping my friends and I keep the city clean. Good night, everybody.
Yay.
Mighty machines, big and mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there.
Mighty machines,
lifting and pulling and flying so high, building a building up to
Gord Rutherford.
You could watch them all day and never know why they're mighty machines. Hear them roar, watch them soar.
Special thanks to Big Boy. I guess they provided the cheeseburgers for the crew.
For every girl and boy, mighty machines, big and mighty machines, working for you, doing mighty things there. Mighty machines.
Yeah, that was a very enjoyable Mighty Machines.
Doing mighty things there. Mighty machines.
Whew. Well, folks, what have we learned today? We have watched... Well, we've gotten through quite a few tapes. A couple of them we didn't get the chance to watch, really, but we got... Herman... Oh, these are all upside down. Herman and Friends, FolkArt One Stroke, Sylvan Learning Center, Restless Heart, Cinderella and Hip Hop did not pan out. We also got the Challenger tape, which was really interesting, and we brought it back with Mighty Machines. Yeah, these tapes have a finite lifetime, and they do have to be stored in a climate-controlled environment. Ugh. So many tapes. So many tapes. Tell you what. This has been a fun stream. I hope you've all enjoyed it. I'm not opposed to doing a 12-hour Golden VCR marathon. I've thought about, like, for Broadcast 100, just doing like all the Hall of Fame tapes, just like picking a bunch of the best tapes that we've ever watched and just playing them back to back. But I also would not be like on camera for 12 hours. Hell no. That sounds exhausting for me and for you. So, but anyway, that Broadcast 100 is a little ways off. We got a lot of tapes to get through. Thank you all for being here consistently to help us get through them and enjoy them. I think I'm gonna do a raid. There's a musician I follow on YouTube. Her name is Cara Comparetto. She's a professional pianist that does like video game covers. She's done full piano cover performances of entire game soundtracks like Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Final Fantasy games, Xenogears. I don't know her, but I just appreciate her music, and she streams on Twitch, and I noticed that she's going live just now with to play the entire Final Fantasy IX soundtrack live. So I was gonna rate her. If y'all are interested in just having some chill, good video game music on in the background while you go about your days, give that a listen. Until then, enjoy this clip. Let's get the raid going. I will see you. I will see you back here on Monday for more Golden VCR.
There's leaves and trash and paper and cash, they left it all in the gutter. So along comes Dusty singing this song with a chuckle, a snort,
yeah, I don't know
and
if
a mutter.
anyone has any raid messages. I don't know.
doodly-doo, I'm keeping
I don't know the
street
person
so
I'm
clean.
rating, so the mean potential of rape messages doesn't really
Buffing this place to a sheen.
mean anything to
Now
me.
just to remember, January to December, I'm Dusty, the street sweeping gal. My brushes are metal, I'm in fine fettle with Mac, my big city pal. Oh, doodly 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 doo, I'm keeping the street so clean. I'm scrubbing and scraping, I'm pavement landscaping, I'm buffing this place to a sheen.
I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something too. Well, gang, I hope you had a good time, and I hope you learned something too. Come on back and see me again for some more fun learning.
Fun
Remember,
learning.
Treat other people the way you want to be treated, okay?
It's always a good
Time to go.
message.
So long for now. 5, 4.
All right, the raid is happening because it's counting down. I will see y'all again. Bye. Have a lovely weekend.